saying what happened?
That's the chorus, ain't it?
Yeah, boy, it's about to be breaking.
Is Nipsey gone?
I think so.
Hmm.
But that's what Willie just said. I ain't.
Yeah. All I see is Nipsey shot.
And I had to go
One
see her.
killed and one wounded. I don't see anything about him passing away. Shot multiple. I know they said he shot 6 times, but
Yeah,
hope he's not dead.
you don't see that either.
Yeah, I don't see that. I'm not going.
No, I just saw. I just saw. Oh,
You sure though?
oh, I'm seeing it on multiple sites.
I see rest in peace Nipsey, and I see double XL
And this is just.
saying he just been pronounced dead. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people saying it now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's really sad.
man,
That's terrible. He was so young too, man. He just
that's
starting.
terrible.
He just starting to break out too in the prime of his career. Oh man, that's horrible.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that's
I don't even say.
yeah, that's real sad.
God dang,
Mm.
that's terrible. Cause like we were just listening to him the other day. I feel
Oh, you were
like
you getting into
damn.
his music?
I've been on this shit since. Well, not been on, but I was on him on that last album.
But okay.
This was you should choose to focus on.
I said okay.
See, I don't like people.
You do that,
He's
man.
just
I'm just saying it's sad. That's all I'm saying. It's real sad. These niggas here
that's terrible. Rest in
just
peace to Nipsey
beating.
Hussle.
That's a sad thing. He's the last person I expect to
God
get
dang.
shot and die. You know what I mean? Everybody likes Nipsey. That's what's so weird about it.
No, not everybody like you.
I mean, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about Nipsey though. Especially he from LA. You know, you wouldn't hear about this in other places. Like 6ix9ine is still alive. You know what I mean? He's the one I would have figured with Nipsey Hussle. Um, Letty's gonna be torn up about this.
Yeah, she gonna be terrible.
Yeah, because her first interview on her new YouTube page was from Nipsey about his work ethic and stuff. Did you see that?
You said what?
Letty started her YouTube network, and her first interview was with Nipsey. They've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. That's just gonna suck for everybody. Like,
That's true. Yeah, that's a shame.
gosh, man. And he was very, very young.
Yeah, he's like same age as J. Cole, I'm pretty sure.
He might be a little bit older.
I don't
He's
think so.
33.
Yeah, he's born in '85, same year as Cole.
J. Cole 33?
J. Cole 34. His birthday is January 28th.
Oh, I can't even say he old, but because it's
He's older than you
But
think.
dang, I ain't know that though.
Yeah.
Yes, he is older than you think.
Hmm.
Like he's older than Drake. I don't know why that feel weird to me.
Drake was born in '86, right? Or '88.
Yeah,
He's born.
86 or 7.
I know Kendrick was
No, it
born.
ain't 88. No, it ain't 88.
Kendrick was born in '87.
I think Drake was born in 87. No, Drake might have been born in 86.
I think '86. Because I know Crit and Cole were born in the same year, and I guess Nipsey was as well. That's interesting. Mm,
Man, what? That don't even make sense.
true. I really think this Wi-Fi is just really messing up today.
I don't know how we move on from that one.
I mean, pretty easily. Anything on your mind?
Pretty easily. You heartless. You one of them heartless from that song you were just playing.
Man, you ain't nobody cloud chaser, bro.
You just said pretty easily.
So you got,
I'm on here
got
with a murderer.
got anything to talk about?
Oh no,
Like, so nothing at all.
no.
All right, cool. Whew, uh, so last episode I probably a bit unfair towards you about your talk, what you want to talk about in the movies. So I apologize for that bit.
Well, you're an unfair person, so I understand.
All right, well, I mean, just accept it and move on. Any movies or anything you've seen lately that you think was good?
How you gonna say I'm unfair then? If, when I agree with you, you want to get hurt and
You
then
didn't
start saying, "Well,
agree.
get
You was
over it."
like, "Well, you
Nah,
are
you
fair."
you
I
are
was just like, you could just been like, "Yeah, man, you're right."
you are
Different
unfair.
movement. You
Yes,
weren't
you are.
trying to come at folks.
I agreed with your statement. We could stay on that. Talk about how unfair you are.
We might Lena Waithe talking about she's staying with Jussie Smollett. How you feel?
Who?
Lena Waithe, boy,
I do too. So I agree.
you staying with them?
Yes, I don't think he. I didn't see anything. No factual evidence that say he didn't do it. I mean that it was fake. So I don't know what it. I know everybody just ran with it. I was like, I'm gonna always agree with the black man before the cricket police station. I don't know about y'all, but
I'm gonna let. All right, cool, cool. So you seen
do you
any?
stand with Jussie?
Nah, not really. That's
Why not? He wasn't white enough.
that's you hit it. That's right it. That man be hitting the nail on the
You
head.
hit it.
Be hitting the nail on the head. Uh, but Nate. So any movies or TV you seen recently? Any good stuff?
I don't watch much TV.
You still watch Blackish, don't
Not like TV shows. Yeah, Blackish is great. That's not even. We ain't even gonna talk about that because y'all don't get it yet. So
you? I guess not. I
it
never
took me
will.
a while to get it. So I understand. Yeah, you just behind. It's too much black for you, but I'm gonna just move on from that. But anyways, I don't really watch much. I don't really watch much TV shows. Waiting on Atlanta to come back and Glow and things like that. So on my block season 2 is out, so we on that right now. Um, try to watch more movies. Try to watch older movies. Um,
What's old to you?
watching Glorious Bastards. Just older, old stuff that ain't new.
So what'd you watch?
You
Go
know,
ahead.
I watched Reservoir Dogs recently and Glorious Bastards.
Okay.
Um, what if I since that? I was about to watch Saving Private Ryan, but the thing went out that I was watching it on, so I just switched to another one. I can't really remember what I've been watching lately. I know I've been watching fairly some new stuff to me, but I think this week gonna be my Stanley Kubrick week. I'm gonna watch A Clockwork Orange. I'm gonna watch The Shining. I'm probably watch 2001. Um, try to watch the damn, what's that really old movie he made? I can't think of the name. The something.
The something.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
The something. I can't think of the other word, but he made it. But whatever.
What's it about?
Uh,
You know?
try to watch Full Metal Jacket. I couldn't tell you. Hold on, I can figure it out real quick. Basically, just go watch a bunch of Kubrick stuff because
A Clockwork
he's the
Orange is
guy,
not a
right?
good movie.
You said it's a good movie,
It's not.
really?
I do not like that movie.
Why?
I don't know. I do know. I just don't like that movie. It's just like the stuff about it I just don't care for.
Oh, it's called The Killing, 1956.
Oh, that's old. I haven't seen that one. That's one of his first ones.
Yeah, I'm just trying to, I'm for real about my stuff. So, I'm just going back.
Cool, cool. Um,
I
I
kind of watch Christopher Nolan stuff. I kind of watch Memento. I want to watch The Prestige, stuff like that.
hmm my favorite my top three favorite Kubrick are number one is Eyes Wide Shut. Number two is probably Doctor Strangelove. Three is probably The Shining. Number four is probably 2001, and number five is probably Past the Glory. All those are like perfect movies.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you to pick the ones to pick the ones that nobody really talk about much. Like, well, they talk about them. They talk about all his stuff, but
All those movies you talked about.
those aren't.
2001, Doctor Strangelove, and The Shining are probably three of his most famous. Period.
People go to A Clockwork Orange first, 2001, The Shining. You went to Eyes Wide Shut and Doctor Strange Love. You probably like Barry Lyndon and Lolita.
Lolita's good, and Barry Lyndon is really really good.
I didn't say they weren't. I haven't seen them, so I don't know.
People talk
But
about
I'm
Doctor.
just saying.
People say Doctor Strangelove is his masterpiece. There's a lot of people who say that. That's considered like top three.
I've heard.
When
I
people
know people talk about that one.
when people talk about his movies, they talk about Shining, Clockwork, 2001, Doctor Strangelove, and Paths of Glory. Those are the big ones.
Um, what are your feelings about Kubrick?
Um, I'm not a super fan. Like his movies that I love, really.
Boo!
His movies I love, I really love. But like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, I don't think I dislike any one of his movies except for Clockwork. I think that's a bad movie. But I think for some reason, I just don't. He doesn't move me with his stories, so I don't know. I thought that's what it was.
But he's very much an artistic director. That they say he makes some of the most beautiful films in terms of lighting and things like that, shot selection, all that kind of stuff.
Who don't watch?
Why can't that just be their
No,
opinion,
no,
man?
no. I agree. Kubrick is he's a genius visually and like storytelling wise. But it's like if you watch his movies and like nobody else is doing nothing like this, I'm like, as the people does.
Who said that?
But I'm saying the way if you will look at the way people talk about his movies, they talk about it as if nobody did thing has ever done stuff like Kubrick has. I'm like people have, and they do. His stuff is like of the highest
Hey, I'm
quality.
gonna
I
put you on
agree.
the spot, real.
Go ahead.
Put you on the spot. I've been looking at a lot of D Finch too. So if you had to pick Christopher Nolan or David Fincher, which one got to go? And all they work.
Nolan got to go. Fincher is a genius.
You
Are you
crazy? You
crazy, man?
crazy?
Are
You
you wild?
crazy?
Nate, you wild, dude. Fincher is
So
easily over Nolan. It's
whoa,
not even close, bro.
whoa,
Not even
whoa,
close.
whoa,
It's not close.
whoa.
Nate, you sleep.
So you want to lose Dark Knight?
Nate, you sleep if you think Dark Knight is touching top three Fincher. You crazy.
Top three Fincher right now. Go.
Social Network, Gone Girl 7.
You lost by saying Social Network. I knew you were gonna say Social Network.
Social Network, Gone Girl
Stop.
7. Zodiac beats everything Nolan has ever made. Easily.
First, hold on. For first of all, Dunkirk, Dark
Dunkirk
Knight,
Dunkirk is amazing.
Memento,
And Dunkirk is his best movie. It ain't touching Zodiac, Seven.
Inception.
Dunkirk is his best movie. It ain't touching the best of Fincher's top four. It ain't touching.
And you all.
You picking Nolan over Fincher for real?
I don't know, but how you talking like you saying it ain't even I'm saying it's at least debatable.
Nah, not to me, bro. It's not even close.
If he didn't direct the Social Network, you wouldn't even be saying this. That's the only reason you like him that
Nate,
much.
Gone Girl is like one of my favorite movies though. I've seen that movie at least like 10 times.
Inception.
Inception is like a great movie. It ain't Gone Girl. It ain't Zodiac. It ain't Seven. It ain't The Social Network.
Okay, I see what it is with you. Christopher Nolan makes these very intricate, detailed movies. You have to think a lot and all that kind of stuff.
Here you
David
go.
Fincher makes
Here you
movies
go.
that are pretty to look at and are grimy and all that kind of stuff, and they're like aesthetically pleasing, and you go for that. And the stories are usually like, I guess you could say, a little bit more in depth. But no movies are deep, and they always have a theme and a message, and it take a minute to get there, and you just don't appreciate that. And that's why you go to Fincher. You go to Fincher for the. It's like a cake. It's like you got the icing on the cake. Nolan is the cake itself. It's why you eat the cake. Fincher is the icing, and you love icing. That's all it is. And I love icing, but it ain't better than the cake in this scenario.
You hit the nail on the head, boy. You got it. You got it.
I know. I know.
Hey man, have you seen Seven?
Yes, I have.
When'd you see it?
It's great. We watched it a couple months ago. It was fairly recent. It was great.
I think that movie alone is better than like every Nolan movie, and I think and that's his fourth, his third or fourth best movie.
I don't see Fincher out here changing. Like Nolan about to give a lead role to John David Washington. I don't see Fincher doing nothing that crazy, bro. I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Ain't it wild that giving a nigga a lead role is life changing?
To you,
Black
yeah. You
Black
like
Black
why?
Black Panther exists, Creed exists. We got Ryan and Jordan out here changing the game, but we gonna say Nolan out here changing the world. Don David up front, surround him with a bunch of whites. I don't know.
I'm just saying I ain't seen David Fincher do no leads since Morgan Freeman and a black person, so I don't know what you're talking about.
You talking about Forrest Whitaker was in Panic Room?
Nigga.
What you talking about? He was a main character.
And stuff.
You act okay, so that ain't a person. Forrest ain't a person now.
He won top billing in that movie.
It was like Jodie Foster then Forrest Whitaker. Yes, he was. It was like them two.
Jody was the lead. John David Washington finna be the lead of Christopher Nolan next film. That's different.
So you think Morgan Freeman got top billing over Brad Pitt then?
In seven? Yes.
That's a damn lie. No, he did not.
Brad Pitt. Man, that was in '95. It went 2015. Yes, he had top billing over
No, he
Brad Pitt.
didn't. Brad Pitt had hits before then. What are you talking about?
So Morgan didn't have his before then.
He had Driving Miss Daisy, and that was it. And like Glory, and he wasn't even topping that.
That, and that's all he needed.
Man, shut up, dude. I don't know what you talking about.
What was Brad Pitt in before that? What
Before
was
that, he was in
Brad Pitt in
Legends of
before
the
that? Tell
Fall,
me
which
that.
was a hit. He was in this other movie that was similar to
Don't
Legends of the
nobody know
Fall.
that is.
That was a hit. It don't matter what you remember. It matters what it was, which was a hit. So he was in True Romance, and he was in Thelma and Louise, and he was like a fan favorite from that movie.
Morgan was a staple in '95 already. So I don't know what you're
I don't
talking
know
about,
about
bro.
that at all. Seven made both of them a staple in a big way. If
Wait.
anything,
When
they
did
were
Shawshank Redemption come out?
94. All right, you got
Oh, it's over with.
all right, you might
It's
have got
over
me
with,
there.
bro. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. All right, anybody else you think?
And fun fact, Frank Darabont directed that, and he directed the first season of Walking Dead.
Yeah, he also created the show for TV.
Yeah, and I think I'll read up on that. They say he didn't stay on because he was making it very hard for the cast, and he wanted a different direction for the show than they were trying to go. And eventually, he was just like, "I don't want to do this no more because y'all messing up my shit."
Well, no, actually, from what I know, they fired him, and that he had plans for the show that would deviate from the comics considerably, but they didn't want to. And he wanted they cut the budgets in the second season, So he had a lot of money first season and didn't have nearly as much second season, so he wasn't able to do what he wanted. So they decided to let him go because he wasn't willing to compromise his vision. And I mean, if you hear about the people talking about the stories, are really interesting. Like you remember first episode of Walking Dead when Rick finds that soldier in the tank.
Hmm.
From the Sam Witwer, the guy who played that soldier, he said there was going to be a whole episode about a flashback of how that soldier got there, and that he was a guy who helped Lori and Carl and Shane get out of Atlanta and start that colony that Rick found, and that it would all end up back to him getting to the tank, and then it would end up back with the first episode. But they didn't want to do all that because they just felt it was unnecessary, or that it didn't, or that it would cost too much money to do. And then Frank Darabont had a lot of different ideas, but he was fired in the end, which is why so many people think the first season is still the best season of the show.
First and second, like I put them two up there.
I would say top three. I think the third season. I think Carl's arc in the third season is like one of my favorite things in that whole show.
Yeah, we rewatching it, and the third season does hold up very well
Yeah, I mean
to me.
that second season is great because Shane is just a great villain, and then to me that third season is pretty fantastic because I just love watching Carl slowly like slip into like darkness, and then they just literally was like, "No, let's not do that," and that kind of made me angry. But whatever.
I know you. I remember you just being so mad about
I
about the
was
fourth season of
man,
him. You like, oh, he palled.
I was hot, dude. Like I'm telling you, like look, Chandler Riggs is not a good actor. He was so good in that third season as like this, like a kid who was just kind of in control and turning evil, and like less and less trusted his dad. That I was like, yo, fourth season is going to be Carl versus Rick, and he's going to have to kill Carl. I thought that was going to be the arc they were going, or at some point Rick would get killed by Carl, and then Carl would take over the group. And then they were just like, nah, he's just a kid again. I'm like, what? No, I don't know. It made me really upset. I really hated it.
Well, you know, he was still a kid doing all that stuff.
But I
You know,
think, but to me,
that didn't change.
but to me, by the arc of the third season, the arc was I let that Walker go in season two, and that got Dale killed because my dad didn't do what he had to do and kill old dude. It got my mom killed, and it got all our friends killed in that shootout and stuff. That now I have to like if you watch the third season, he's like, Dad, you have to let me do what I have to do. You have to like you can't be nice to these people. You have to kill or be killed. And even he's the one who says to his dad, like when Rick starts seeing the ghost of Lori, he's like, Dad, you're not fit to do this anymore. Like let Herschel and them take over. Like let Glenn take over for the bit. And Rick's like, you're right, Carl. But, like to me, I was like, man, they're really making Carl to be like this really capable, like, Dad, I see that you're losing it, but I've grown up in this world and I know how to deal with it. And you're just becoming softer and softer. And then I thought by the fourth season it was going to be like, Dad, you keep letting people in and they keep on betraying us. I'm not going to let you kill us all. I'm going to have to kill you, pops. And then I thought that was going to be the arc of the show in some way, or Carl in some way would integrate himself and become more like the governor, like more explicitly, like just darker and darker. But then they just stopped doing it, which I don't get at all. And then they just killed him, which made me mad.
Where I will defend the fourth season, the reason he did that was because it was like a last minute, it was like a lasting trust he had in Rick. He was like, I know that you're gonna turn this thing around for us. So he put the guns up, he did the farming stuff. He was like, we're gonna try it your way. Then when the governor came back, he did blame Rick for all that stuff you mentioned, and for the fact that the governor came back. He said, we stopped. We should have still been out there looking for him, and it's because of you. You're trying to play farmer. So that fourth season change of Carl, it was him trying to buy in to his dad's leadership. Then he realized, like, yo, it still didn't work. So yes, I see what you're talking about, but I think that was like a last. I'm gonna believe my father, not I'm finna kill my father. How you? Because then Carl dead by
Yeah,
the fourth
that's what I'm
season.
saying. He's dead now, which makes me even more angry.
No, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about if he died in the fourth season. It's like, where do you go from that end? Like,
Anywhere. I mean, now they did the flash forward where Judith is essentially the main character now, which I'm cool with, and I might watch because of that. But like, I'm not saying that they would have to kill Carl or that Carl would kill Rick. I'm just saying like, drill more into that. Like he's becoming darker because they really just kind of stopped it. Like at a certain point, like I know what you mean. In the fourth season, he kind of was like, I'm gonna let this farming thing go and see how it works, and it didn't work. And he was just like, man, Dad got everybody killed. He got prison taken, all this stuff. And I was like, oh, they finna really dig into it. And then he's just like, I guess I just give all my trust to Rick again. And I'm like, nah, bro, like drill in. Like Carl and him should have real
Well,
animosity,
no,
I think. Like
what
throughout.
what happened was like, well, he had an animosity. Maybe like, I wish he said we'd be better off if you were dead. I feel like that was where it was starting to go, where you might have liked it. And I think if he went out into the world and he saw that he could handle himself, he would have went that way. But remember when like he got in trouble with the walker, he almost died a few times.
I
Then he went
hate
back
that
to the house and
episode
he
so
thought
much.
Rick
I
turned.
remember it because that was the one moment.
Wait,
That was a big
wait,
moment for me when I was just like, man, they really just ruining Carl's character. Carl, the dude that we saw in the past season and a half, would not have been like this careless and unwilling to do what he had to do. This dude was like messing
but
around and
in his
falling and tripping.
child.
Uh, nah, bro, because if you watch third season of that show, he is like he saw Tyrese and Sasha. He was like, "Bam, come with me." And then he said, "Y'all got to get in this cage until my pops gets back." He like in control. He knows his place. He knows where he falls on the line. And then in every moment where he's tested to be like, "What's going to happen here?" He
But wait,
does the right thing or the smart thing.
that's isolated. But wait, he's in an isolated. So technically, he's safe when he's making those decisions. You can do a lot when you're safe. He was out there in the world with walkers, and one of those safety barrier of a prison in front of him. So now he got to make real life decisions that will save his life or get him killed. And he showed that he's still a child at heart. Yes, it's good to do that stuff when you have a prison, and you can make some of those decisions. But he was alone with a gun, and that was it. And he almost died a few times. And then he thought Rick turned. He was crying. He was like, "I can't kill you." He's still a kid. So it's like it's the duality of what that world is. He has to be a man, but he's also a 12-year-old boy. So you might have those moments where you act like a man and do things that a man does, but then you still want pudding and you still can't kill a father because you're still a kid. So it's like it made sense to me why he went back to that way. Because at the end of the day, it's like if Karma was out in the world and she got hardened and had to kill zombies. I'm sure she would eventually be able to become a zombie killer. Will she still succumb to childlike things because she's 11 years old? Yes, because she's a kid still.
Nate, I'm
So
not
it's
saying
like,
that that's not the issue. That's fine. And my issue with that moment in the fourth season was like, one, I don't believe like, look, I understand him not being able to kill his dad. I get that completely. I don't buy him being so willingly careless because in those moments when he had to save Sasha and Tyrese, those were two strangers who could have potentially killed him, like the dude did with his mom, or like when Shane tried to kill his pops, right? And then, but he made the choice in that moment to be like, all right, y'all got to come with us in this moment. And the zombies all through the prison. He was by himself. He was literally the only one who could protect that group. It was Herschel and I believe Emma. I mean, whoever I think it was Emma. I don't remember her name. But it was him.
it was Beth.
Yeah, Beth. That's my sister was. It was Herschel, Beth, and like two kids, and like they weren't gonna protect him. And Carl was the de facto leader at that moment. He was the only one with the weapon that could potentially do something if something went down. When he goes out and patrolling to make sure that the tunnels were safe, so that when they come back, the walkers don't get them catching by surprise if they're on like the way in. So that's what he was doing. He's patrolling by himself. And I'm not saying like he can't succumb to childish things. My point was after the second, like in the second season, we start to see that moment when Carol was talking about Sophia, and he was like, Sophia's dead, and she's never coming back. There is no heaven or hell. And we started to see him slowly becoming more and more cynical and more realistic about the world. And then by the time he like goes out to try to kill that walker and can't, and he comes back and kills Dale, he holds that inside and is like, dang, I did this because of this. My friend is not dead. And then in the next season, because he sees Rick choose to let these people go, and then it comes back to haunt him, and then he has to shoot his mom and then remove Judith like physically. That to me that was like a traumatic event to him that changed everything. And if you look at the show from that point on, he really became like about business and didn't hesitate when it came to doing the right thing. I mean, or doing the savage thing, because there was that moment when the governor's people came to attack, and Herschel was like, and that boy came, he was like, Herschel like, put the gun down, and then the boy like kind of held the gun and didn't put it down, and then Carl shot him in the face. And then Herschel was like, your boy is going down a dark road. Like he didn't hesitate. Like he just shot him in the face. He wasn't thinking, he wasn't compassionate. He just shot him because he didn't do what he said. And to me, I was like, oh dude, they're really driving Carl down. And then when Rick brought that bus in from it wasn't Alexandria, I don't think. It was from the governor's place, but I forget the name. And then Carl was like, he looked at his dad like, you really finna bring these people here? You finna open this border up even more? Like, we're not here to be happy. We have to be here to be safe. And it was like this real moment of like recognition of like animosity. And it started, and it in this fourth season, it just made him like a whiner and like a crier, and it really annoyed me the way he was like, "Dad, you took my guns away. Why can't I do stuff?" And it's like that's not the Carl from season three. Season three, Carl knew to like, all right, Dad, you're not fit. Let's let Glenn and them do it. Or Dad, like Dad, I'll look down the fort until you get back, and I'll just make sure that everybody's safe. I'm gonna do what I have to do to make sure things happen. And then like it just got to like, oh no, he's an emotional teenager now. I'm like, nah, bro, like that's not the guy you was shaping. Like you was shaping like cynical, traumatic things happen, and he was just like about business, keeping people safe. And then by the time they get to Alexandria, he just has nothing to do. He's like hanging out with not Lilith, what's that girl's name? Ingrid, who's running off and stuff. He's just kind of like trying to date her or whatever. And then he doesn't really have anything to do. He's just a boring kid who like watches Judith now with an eye patch. I don't know, man. I really don't. I really hate the way they did Carl. Like I really loved Carl from like season one to season like three, and then like four. I was like, yeah, it's kind of annoying, but they're going towards the way I like. And then they just kind of stopped it, and then he died, and I was like, okay, I guess. I don't know.
Right. Um. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to talk about the Walking Dead. Um, just got me hot. So so Jordan Peele, what you thought about him? You thought it was a good thing he did, or no, or yes?
Tell me what he said.
Yeah.
Listen, man. I'm always riding with the African American over the white, and in this instance, it wasn't no side. It wasn't no other side to consider. I loved what he said. I just want to ask everybody that's upset. Are you upset that it took this long for Christopher Nolan to finally get a black lead? And are you upset that all these other directors have never had a black lead or a Asian lead or a Latino lead? So is it just because he said it that's upsetting you, or is it the fact that he feels that way? Well, it can't be the fact that he feels that way because all the other directors have done the same thing, even though they ain't just outright said it. We just state what we gonna do. We
From
we don't
from
hide from our shit.
from what I
If
heard,
we do
from
it,
what
we
I
gonna do it.
from what I heard, the people were upset about the wording of it, and my thing was like, he didn't say nothing wrong. He said he just don't see himself hiring a certain person. He didn't even say he wouldn't hire white women or like a gay white man. He just said straight white guys. I don't see myself hiring. Which I'm like, ooh, like that's not even like an offensive thing to say. He didn't say I'd never do it. He said I just don't see myself doing that. People really like the fact that like people were like, I was a little hurt. I mean, like I understand what he meant. He could have just kept doing it, but I just don't like the wording of it. I was like, it ain't for you, bruh. Like to me, part of it was like, go show empathy the way every person of color has the last like 100 years. You know what I mean? Like, if he doesn't want to hire that person for that role and he wants to say that, that's fine. Go to his movie and like show empathy for someone who looks different from you. It was one of the most frustrating things seeing people react to that. People like I respected and like liked their opinion, or at least could understand their opinion. I was just like, I'm not following any of this. I hate all these moments.
I mean, I don't understand. Like he said, we've seen that movie before. Have we not? Like I don't like if you disagree with that, I don't get it. Like
That's true.
it's like I've seen that movie through history constantly, way
Hmm.
more than any other else being in that position. So it's just like I don't get. And he said it ain't nothing against white dudes. I just I just seen that movie before, so I'm like, yeah, we have. It's just people who it's the same people who don't like the ending of Us. I mean, Get Out because they say because they'll never understand why police coming is scary to a black man. So it's like
I
I
don't
don't
know.
get that upset by it.
I don't get why anybody would say that. I don't think anybody in their right mind has said that. You know,
But they haven't said it. But I've seen people that say they hated the ending of Get Out.
I heard people say they hate the ending because they thought it should have been a police and not Lil Rel. But like, I don't know about that either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's white people, man.
Hmm.
You heard any new music lately?
No,
No.
I'm just waiting on this Ari album to drop. I'm real excited about that.
You can wait on that. But
You know, like I thought you
I
liked
got
Ari
something.
Lennox. What about you?
I do. I do. I'm just saying.
I don't know. You be just saying stuff just to be different.
Duh.
Uh, yeah.
Shit. Talking about.
I don't know what you mad for, bro. Chill out.
Cause you. But
Yeah.
look,
Shout out Josh. That R&B.
Zakari, Zakari got a great album that just came out. It's beautiful.
Who?
Zakari.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
Summer Walker got, got a great thing that just came out back in January. It's great. It's like 5 songs, 4 songs. It's nice.
Hmm. I think your taste in R&B is just drastically different from mine.
So it's a good taste in R&B against the bad taste in R&B.
I mean, it's good if it's on your side. It's all about opinion, I guess. But like, I just sometimes I hear the R&B that you like recommend. I'm like, "Man, I don't like this at all. But it's you though, so I can't really knock it.
But I put you on to so much great R&B. I think that you want my opinion on it because I'm definitely the R&B person of our group. If we're gonna keep it 100,
That's
so
fine. I mean, like, I prefer to hear your take on like hip hop art, like rappers more than R&B artists, because every time you recommend R&B, I'm just like, yeah, this ain't for me. It's more and more recently.
I put you on Janae.
Oh, who?
I put you on Janae.
Nate, that's a lie. I
Janae.
told you that.
No, no, it's not.
Nate,
But
you
it's
are
fine. I put you on
wild.
Anderson .Paak.
You crazy? Yeah, Anderson Pack. I'll give you that. Yeah,
I put you on Anderson .Paak.
yeah. And
Yeah,
you put me on Control by SZA too. I'll give you that. And you put me on
my
um
yeah,
and you put me on Anti by Rihanna. I'll give you that too.
my oh, I put definitely put you on Anderson. My R&B is to not be questioned. I
It
do the
was you
R&B
it was
thing,
you and
so
Quincy
it's like
put me on Anti, so it was a double dose. But like um but those are like exceptions to the rule. Like most times it's like,
I put you on
oh, you put me on what?
Daniel Caesar.
No, you didn't. A girl put me on Daniel Caesar, and I know the girl.
No, I definitely put you
No,
on
you did
Daniel
not.
Caesar,
Because the
but
first time
whatever.
I heard a song, she played "Get You," and I was like, "Who is that?" She was
Whatever.
like Daniel Caesar. Nah, don't lie to me, bro.
Oh, and I put you on. I was on LMA before the whole storm, so.
I don't even like Element that much. I like Boot Up. I don't like none of them other songs she put up.
Emotional Oranges is great.
I bet it.
El Hay is great. It's like, come on, man. I put you on her. Come on, man. I do the
I don't
R&B
like
thing. Come
her.
on now. But you should. That's my point. You don't have good taste in R&B.
That's how I know our R&B tastes different. Like I just like I know the stuff you recommend that you play that you like. I'm just like I don't like this. It's like not for me.
I put you on Juice WRLD.
I don't like Juice World.
I put you on Justine Sky. I put you on Kelani.
Nate, you did not put me on Kaylani. Stop that right now. That's a darn lie.
Put you on Keith. And I put you on Khalid.
Nate, I put you on Kaylani. You did not put me on Khalid. I heard Khalid all on my own, and I think he's okay. You know good and well I put you on Kaylani. Don't lie. Don't sit there and lie, bro.
No, I definitely put you. I put you on Partisan Fontaine. I put you on R. Alum R.
Nate, I don't know who half these people are. Partisan Fontaine is like mediocre. I don't like his music.
What about R. Alum R?
I don't. Is that a word or that's letters?
It's the letter R dot LUM dot R. And I ain't even put myself on that one. Jasmine put me
I
on
don't
that
like
one.
him
So
on principle based on that name.
what about Snow Allegra?
No, Boogie put me on her. I heard her first on his album.
No, I put you on Snow.
Nate, you did not. Stop it.
What, what about Tiana Taylor and Teflon Sega? I put you on them.
Don't know who Teflon Sega is. I know Steflon Don. Tayana Taylor. I knew her from Tyler Perry before I
Yes.
knew you.
I put you on Tiffany Goucher. I put you on Tink. I put you on Trevor Jackson.
Nate, nobody listens to Tink. Only Lindsay listens to Trevor Jackson, and I don't know who that first person was.
Ooh.
Yeah, bro. We diverge
I'm
on
just
that.
going down the list.
We diverge on that bit. Like, let's just start with the R&B. Hip hop artists usually got good taste, or like taste that align with mine, and I'm like, cool, I like this. But like R&B is just it's most of the
Yeah,
time
yeah.
it's like
You
a
gotta
fork in the
stop.
road.
You got something good. It's based on yours, and
Nate,
so it's.
I know, Nate. That's what I said. Taste of the line was mine. That's what I said. That's why I said it.
I'm just saying, bro. You gotta keep
I
it
ain't know. I
consistent.
know. I called it. Don't worry. I called it. You heard it. So you ain't got to reiterate. Yeah, man. But yeah. Um, you listening to any new music lately?
I'm waiting on Anderson .Paak's new album Ventura to come out on April 12th. Um, Besides that, it's not really. I'm on that Murder on My Mind by Melly, but that ain't really new.
So,
Um,
have you heard Mixed Personalities by Melly and Ye?
I don't like that one more than Murder on My Mind and Mind on My
I
Murder.
love that.
I think those two are great, and I think Ye just he's terrible. So
That's true. I'll give you that. Um.
I try not to really listen to anything he's on. But actually,
Anyway.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. I don't. Yeah, I'm not really. I don't look for Ye at all these days. I don't know anybody who does.
He's gone off my mental space. I don't think about him at all unless I see like a thread of people just praising him, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I remember when that Sunday
whatever.
service thing came out, and I was like, okay, and then I moved on.
And then he's still doing it. He did one today.
Yeah, no, people get real excited about like him with a choir and like pushing a button, and I'm like, that's fine, that's great, and then I move on with my day.
Basically.
Yeah, man. I really can't stand the amount of attention he still gets, bro. Like people out here like, the Ye is important. His music's so good. I'm like, look, bro, that's fine. Like if y'all need that music that bad, y'all keep going. But I don't want to hear nothing about y'all Black Power movements no more.
All right, you can't be on both sides of that. Like, if you gonna be over here, cool, but don't come over here with us. It's like, no, you over there.
Yeah,
Like,
people be having me hot with these takes they be having.
what take?
Like the take today, the Chris Rock one, because he made that joke about Jussie, and they were like, "Shut your old letting white folks say nigga having ass up." And I was like, I mean, yeah, I get that
Yeah,
too, but like he gonna make jokes. He a comedian, so like chill out.
I, I saw that clip and I was like, how in 1 minute he's funnier than like 90% of the people doing? It was like a minute bit, and I saw it today. I saw it like a few minutes before we started this, and I was just like, damn, like how are you? I don't. It's just every time he on the stage with a microphone, I'm all ears, man. It's like I don't know.
It wasn't even it wasn't even like a bit. He was just funny, you know.
He was just talking, and it was just hilarious.
I'm hot at these children out here saying stuff like, "Hey, what you did with those white folks is worse than what Jussie did." And I'm like, y'all kids, bro. Y'all definitely ain't graduated high school.
He said, "Y'all kids."
I'm really into calling folks children these days because I see a lot of childish takes. Like with that Chance thing, I was like, you a child, bro. Go watch some movies and like, or like go help your community.
You a child.
That's really like a good insult though. I love saying like dork, dweeb, and children. Like I'm like, who is this child? Get him off my timeline. Like I love that shit, bro.
And that man older than you, but you call him a child.
If you saying stuff like that, you a child. That's like me going out saying like, hey, I don't think racism exists. If you call me a fucking baby, I'd be like, yeah, I probably deserve that.
I'll be like, yeah.
Like, shut up, you fucking adolescent.
But yeah, I saw the people saying like what he did was worse, and I'm like, okay. It's like it still remains like it was still funny. Like I don't,
Yeah.
and I was conflicted with that thing, but then I thought about like, well, if I didn't care then, I don't know. It's like it's changing up fake on in a situation like this. Like if you didn't care when you first saw it, because I don't think I really when I watched it when I was young, I don't think I really cared that much.
You
But
probably clock it and think about it at all.
yeah, I didn't think about it. But would I should I like if I care now is that hypocritical? I don't know. So it's like, and I did care hearing it now than I did back then. When I was just like, but I don't know. I think that one's just different and it's weird.
I don't
And it
I,
might
I don't think that's hypocritical. I think that's you growing as a person. Because I mean, if you think about Like I remember being in high school and like folks saying nigga around me, and I would just be like, yeah, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, yeah.
And then-
All
and
the,
then, and then now I'm like, yeah, if they said that around me, I wouldn't take that at all. You know what I mean?
oh, if I had the mindset I had now back in high school, I would hit somebody with a trumpet in the face and would be suspended from school.
Yeah, I would have been, or I would have said something. I would have been like, yo, chill out with that, bro. Like we ain't finna do that. You ain't finna say that
Now,
around me. It should be cool.
now, reviews on that trumpet bus, how they used to get it, how they used to get down. No, I would have to scrap somebody.
I remember people being like, yo, Ian, like I can't stand niggas, but not like you, like you black, but like them niggas. I was like, yo, I used to be like, yeah, I know what you mean. Now I'm like, I can't believe I used to say shit like that. I can't let them get away with that.
But bro, you just looking back, you be like, bro, why ain't sock the shit out of a nigga back?
I just remember people saying shit like, "Ian, you the smartest black person I know," or you speak
Oh my
like,
god.
or you the whitest black person I know, or you speak like a white dude. And I used to be like, man, that's crazy. Or I used to back then. I remember I used to ask him like, what do you mean? But I used to didn't really follow up. Now I just be like, yeah, don't say that to me ever again.
I'm either finna tell you why you wrong and a racist, like inbred piece of shit, or we just gonna get to these hands. I don't know which one.
Just hit them with like, look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. Don't say this to me or any black person ever again.
Wait, bro, you know what's crazy? Like, it's almost. Have you ever talked to like one of the people that you talked to back then, and you could feel how it's different, how they would never try that now, like they did back then?
I think because they matured as well. I think they grown and be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be talking like this.
Yeah, it's like I talked to like Sean Dolan and somebody like on Facebook
I was
maybe like,
trying not to say names to like put people on blast.
man, fuck you, Caleb, Sean,
Hey, I mean, like first name is fine, but I'm not trying to be like say their whole government. You know what
Wade,
I mean?
Daniel.
I got you, bro. Go ahead. I said people, and they out here just like, you know what I said, so and so and so and so.
I ain't scared of the niggas, bro. But you're like you'll talk to him now like and it'll be a quick conversation. But you just feel it like if you see him in public, like you just know that they would never try that now. And it's just, like, I guess we all did grow up at the same time. You got to think that they think and they be like, "Yo, I was wilding back then. Like I said some crazy shit."
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a yeah, it's just an interesting thought to me. Like, do they know that they did wrong? Because I feel like because some of them might still be using it now, but they know enough now to be like, I'm gonna be covert with it. I ain't just gonna say it out loud.
But I think that's part of growing though. So I mean, like I said, we saw that talking funny thing when I was like 15, you were 14. So and we didn't just didn't think none of it because it's just the people we were around also said that word sometimes. I mean, maybe more for you because you were on that trumpet bus, but because they definitely wouldn't say they're on the percussion bus. But I'm saying like if you have a problem with it now, that's fine. That means you've grown as a person. In the same way, everybody grows, and I'm not mad at it. So it ain't like you
But
got on Twitter back then and was like, yeah, I think it's okay for white people to say this word. It ain't.
people who got on Twitter and tweet stuff like that should be canceled, not because of what they're saying, but because how dumb they are. But we can get to that in a minute. But to that point, I was saying like I don't think I'm a hypocrite because I feel differently about it. I think that's part of change and growth. I think I'm a hypocrite because I don't feel strongly as strong I would about it if it was somebody I didn't love to my core. I think that's where I'm a hypocrite. It's like it's Chris Rock and Louis C.K. And I know that Louis might be a bad person, and I think Chris Rock is a great person, especially for black people. But both of them in that moment they did foul shit, and it's like and I think I should care more, but I don't because I love both of them as comedians. And I'm like, well, damn, what does that say about you then if you're not keeping that same energy across the board? I think that's where I feel like a little bit of a hypocrite because once I saw that video again, I did feel something, but I found myself like mentally defending them. Like when I saw people going down the line, like, oh no, that's Chris Rock, like he with us. But I'm like, no, would you do that with somebody like would you do that with Trevor Noah if he did it? Like, no, I don't give a fuck about Trevor Noah that much, so I'll probably have some hostilities with him. But because it's Chris Rock, it's like that's where I feel like a hypocrite almost.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Um, I don't know if that's hypocritical, but I get what you mean. I you care less because you like Chris Rock so much.
Yes, and it made me think about Gerard's stand up, like and just talking about like you can get away with stuff if you're great at your craft or whatever.
Mhm.
I just love his morals versus money or whatever it was. It's great. It's great. He's great. But,
Yeah, I saw there was a post by these people called Cinema Cartography, And I love their video essays. They have their separate channels, and the one they have together is a couple, it's a girl and a boy, and they do really smart stuff. And they did one on art versus separating the artist from the art from the artist. And I didn't really fully agree with the conversation because of how they framed it, but also, mm, you ever watch something or somebody and you like, oh, you're a snob, and like your opinions I count less about, care less about, because you obviously your your frame of reference is of an elite type of content and not necessarily of a broad type. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So like them two, they really like reference Kubrick, and they like a lot of who remind them of Kubrick, and they obviously they like the masters. They like Tarkovsky and Hitchcock and
Apocalypse Now and stuff like that.
huh.
Apocalypse Now and stuff like that.
Yeah, like not. I mean, they didn't. I mean, Apocalypse Now, sure, that's a great movie, but like that's Coppola, so they wouldn't really reference him because he fell off in a sense to like in the public consciousness. But like, I mean, like the masters overall, like the Tarkovskys and like people like that, like people who have remained at the top and like have made definitive works of cinema. And I'm like, those movies are fantastic, and I understand, but like, I think there's something to be said about uh the branches outside of that, or the smaller types, um, because there also are critics of the same ilk who only value like trash cinema or like really experimental and different stuff, and I don't like them that much either. Only because I'm like, just because it's off, it's weird and different, doesn't make it necessarily good or necessarily make it necessarily worth talking about. And I just think a healthy balance is the two. Anyway, that's the point. What they were talking about, like the idea of like people don't separate the art from the artist, so they want to censor their work. And my thing was, I'm like, no, 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 that's different. Like to me, I don't think you can separate art from artists, and I don't think you should. But I also don't think you should censor their work just because I can watch, like, okay, Woody Allen, I think is one of my favorite filmmakers ever, right? But if you watch his work, so much of his work is tied into the kind of person he is and the stories he wants to tell, not only the ones that he stars in, but the one he doesn't. And you can see so much of like his he is a genius as a writer and as a comedian and like as a thinker. The dude crafts worlds and like ideas that most people couldn't even dream of or write as well. And when you watch his stuff and you read his stuff and you watch his plays or read his plays or whatever and watch his old interviews, you see that this is a very smart guy, but you also see he's a very narcissistic dude. And based on everything we know from past experience, that he's really manipulative and takes advantage of people in lesser positions or young women, like really young women. And like it's different. So I can't separate it. So when I watch a movie like Manhattan, which is an amazing movie, but the movie is about the character Woody Allen plays trying to date a 17-year-old girl. And when you know the context of who he was at the time and who he became, it's weird to watch that movie. It's obvious, like you can't separate that. That's a movie about what he did. He dated a lot of 16 and 17-year-old girls in the 70s when he was in his 40s. So I don't think you should censor it, and I think it should be allowed to be in the world, and I should be allowed to watch it if I want to. But that doesn't mean that I should just be like, well, this is art from artists, and this is a different thing. So I can't, let Woody Allen's personal life define how I think about the movie. Like, no, it's part of it, and that's what every artist. And they were trying to make the point that some artists is more than others. It's like, nah, bro. Like, even if you don't act in your stuff or don't write your stuff, your influences and what you want to see in a movie or what you choose to frame is based particularly on your set of experience and what you do. So everything is based on your point of view. So I don't think you can at all, or I don't think you should. You have an opinion on that at all?
Well, I think I think it depends. I think for people like R. Kelly, you can't really distinguish between the music because, like you said with Woody Allen, the music is his life essentially, or at least he speaks so much about what he believes in, all his truths and his stances on society into his art. So you can't really just separate it and look at the art because the art is him. So if he's a terrible piece of shit, it might translate over into his art. Same thing with R. Kelly. Now with somebody like Kanye, um, I think you can separate the art, but I don't want to because I feel like if he feels that way, like okay, I don't know about you, but I don't like his everything before My Beautiful Dark Twisted is different to me than everything after,
Mm,
right? And that's just how I hear it. So it's like I can separate that because I feel like he became almost two different people. It's like I think it's before his mother and after, and like everything after, it's kind of warped, or you could almost say like before Kardashian, after. He's just like he almost seems like a different person. So yes, I can separate that stuff. So everything before that to me, it still holds up. Is it enough to like just turn an eye to what he's saying now? No, and I would never do that just because he's great. I don't believe in that part of the moral versus greatness or whatever that conversation is. I do think a person's a piece of shit. Then just because they make great stuff, it should excuse it. No, I don't believe it. And also with that, his music didn't age well to me. He's making bad music now. So it's like I'm not just going to excuse it. Especially if the music ain't good, like it at least got to be next level great for me to even consider being like, okay, well that music was still great. No, his music sucks now to me. So it's like I'm not missing nothing if I'm off of it. But to just go to a broad thing and get on Kanye, yeah, I think you can separate the art if the art is not solely dependent on the person. So like if I think it'll be hard to separate a director from his work because I feel like you're almost putting themes about yourself and your life and how you see the world into your art. Or at least that's what I've seen from like guys like I don't know. You can really name anybody because I think directing is such a passion based thing and it's so like intricate and detailed and intimate. It's hard to separate the art. Whereas for music, you can separate the art because I feel like you can. Oftentimes, you're telling a lot of stories that I guess really aren't about you in a way, and it still can have a theme in it, but a lot of times it don't, and a lot of times it could just be music. So like you could separate it, or if the person changes, and it's like you didn't always feel the way you felt, or you're not always how you are, and you can't separate it. But I don't believe in the whole thing about like the thing you was talking about where they were like by not separating the artist from the art you're going to censor their music. um I think creating art is almost a privilege. Now I'm not saying to force anybody to do anything or to not do anything. I don't believe in taking away rights of that magnitude, but I think to be a creator, it's almost given to you. It's something that I've realized like in the last 6 months or a year. Like it's almost thrust upon you to have the ability to create something. I don't think it's a choice. I think if you're a creator, and I hate using terms like content, all that kind of stuff,
I
but
don't agree with that, but I see what you mean. Oh,
can I?
hold on a second. What?
Look, I'm in the middle of something here.
What?
See, this is why we can't be great.
Yes, I do. I forgot.
I
No,
can't be great.
I did forget.
Yeah, well, we just can't be great. With stuff like this. I don't know.
No, man. I think anybody can be creative, and they're creative in different ways. I mean,
Can I finish what the fuck I was saying?
I thought you were done.
I was still talking. What you mean you thought I was
Go
done?
ahead.
Nah, I agree with you.
All right, cool. I'm glad we agree. Um,
Fucking Nick. I swear.
uh, no, man. No, I think people can be creative in different ways,
I'm
and I just think,
learning in life when people don't want to listen to you, you ain't gonna keep talking.
hey, that's what I do.
Cause
That's
they don't listen anyway, bro. So you might as well just say your breath, bro.
kind of how I feel. At a certain point, you just be like, "Oh yeah, you're right," and then you like, "Let me get
Yep,
back to what I
yep,
was doing."
yep. I'm gonna give your ignorant ass what you want.
Oh man,
I'm gonna give you what you want, not what you need.
I was I saw Captain Marvel the second time today with Carmen. Um, I remember the first time I went and saw it. I saw it with Ebony, and man, it's probably
What?
gotta take them. Probably gonna take that money in a little bit. They up there yelling. Um,
Who? What happened?
I don't know. I forgot to give Carmen some money to give to her mom when I dropped her off at her grandma's house. And she just called me and was like, "Did you why didn't you give her the money?" I was like, "I forgot." She's like, "Yeah, you did." And now they arguing about something else. I was like, "Oh, that probably started it." They probably they probably like that boy, that stupid boy. Like, hey, let me call that boy stupid, and it just keep going.
Stupid ass boy.
Like, he's stupid. You should have gave Carmen the money, giving Ian the money. You know he gonna forget, and he's gonna get into all that. So I ain't bothered by it. I don't really be bothered by stuff they do. They be want to talk about it. And I'm just like, yeah, and I just keep it moving. It's weird. Recently, I've been less less conscious of like mistakes and stuff. Like I'm not conscious of it, but I've cared less about that kind of thing. Like getting stuff wrong and like embarrassing myself, and it's like I don't really feel embarrassed anymore. It's weird. I just kind of mess up and then I keep it going.
You don't feel embarrassed about it?
I don't know. Like Friday, I had dinner with my boss and another guy who works for the company's engineer, and I was like, I got my food first, and I was like prepping it or whatever because it's like a Mexican restaurant. So I was squeezing lime on the tacos, and then I like messed up and it slipped in my hand, and it like splashed like the lime and it like squeezed all in my face and on the table, and I think it might have hit them too. And then I was like, oh crap, and then I felt like a sting, and I was like, yeah, that was a mistake. Like before, I would have been in my
Wait,
head
wait,
about it.
wait, wait. Who you did this to?
It was my boss and another guy who works for the company, like an engineer guy.
Oh, oh,
We
you
have a,
done?
and I was just thinking, like usually when that happens, I'm like, oh man, they probably think I'm an idiot or something like that. I just get in my head, and after that, I was like, yeah, oh well. And I wiped my face off and then just got back to doing what I was doing. And that's been happening a lot more recently. So I was about to say something and I forgot. Art from artists, Kanye, and that stuff. Uh I wanted to bring this up, and thought this was interesting. There was like a month ago, I think, or a month or two. There was this woman who's this model in the '70s, and she wrote an article. Well, she got interviewed, and she told the interviewer about this time when she dated Woody Allen when she was 16 in the '70s, and how she dated him up until she was like 24, and how he like kept her a secret and like didn't tell anybody about it, or like he only invited her to his place and he ordered food and brought it there. He obviously is ashamed, but she was like in love with him because she loved his films and she thought he was a genius. Um, and then when they finally broke up, uh, she had heard after the fact that he had been dating other girls around the same age at that time, and that they all thought that the movie Manhattan was about them. And it was like, and if you watch Manhattan, it's very strange how weird, how like intimate that movie is, and especially like considering the story she told about dating Woody Allen, how specifically about her it was. It's kind of wild. It's like it's weird because the first time I watched it, I didn't think nothing of it, but when you think about it, it's like the movie starts, he's dating a 17-year-old girl. By the end of the movie, she turns 18, and he dumps her, and then he tries to get her back, and in the end, he professes his love, and they get back together, and that's the movie. It's a weird thing. Have you seen Annie Hall yet?
Fuck him and that movie.
It's so perfect though, bro.
You excusing his behavior because the art.
I'm not. I don't watch his stuff anymore.
You just gush over it still.
I mean, Andy Hall is like one of my favorites. I saw that when I was like 14, and I just fell in love with that movie. So
Mm.
it's just so good. Hey man, Scorsese did coke back in the '70s. You know, everybody was tripping.
That was him hurting himself, not raping kids.
No, no, I agree. I agree. Woody Allen wasn't
So why you
raping.
bring it up?
I was just saying. I was just trying to make a point. But yeah, you're right.
You,
At least he wasn't
you
Roman Polanski out
like
there
he,
smashing 14-year-olds. So
yeah, he's bad too.
yeah, he is. No, he's a terrible human
Too
being.
wrong don't make a right,
No, no, I agree. He's a terrible person.
but his art's still great to you. Huh?
Nah, I'm not a huge fan of that guy.
Ah,
He got some pretty great ones in there.
I hope they listening and I hope they get you
I didn't do nothing wrong.
right.
I'm just saying he got some good movies in there.
So the final four is set. It's Virginia,
I don't.
Texas.
This ain't for me.
Come on, man.
I don't want to talk about the March Madness though.
Duke lost, man.
That's crazy.
You know Zion crazy.
Yeah, I mean he going to the league, so it's all good.
He was supposed to win it all, bro.
Man, I'm not. I am not. No, I'm not here for this.
He said no. You gotta be if I keep talking about it.
I'm just not interested in basketball. I mean, not
Sport,
NCAA basketball.
yes. We know what you mean.
I'm not a big sports guy in general.
Yeah. Nerds usually aren't, but I understand.
But you a dork, so because dorks like sports. Dorks in sports.
You read comic books.
I was yeah, man. Everybody loves comic books, man.
Everybody calling me a dork.
Captain Marvel is a $1 billion movie now. So
Ooh,
apparently I'm not the only dork in the world.
you ain't, but you hate
I'm
the.
not the only dork. I guess you're the dork for not liking it because everybody else likes it.
You don't have to be
Yeah,
weird.
you gonna see Endgame, ain't you? You dork. Um, but
You think talking loud make you win?
dork. You can see Endgame though for real.
Yes, it's 3 hours and 2 minutes. We all in there.
Yo, crazy boy. Y'all sitting in there for 3 hours.
But you're gonna see a foreign film for 4 hours about a baby being raped, but you ain't gonna talk about that.
Nah, I wouldn't see that either.
You already watched it.
I did not see a baby getting raped. No, I did not.
You gonna watch it one day.
I'm not gonna watch that movie.
You do it for the art. You don't care if it's bad.
I don't think that really makes sense. Uh, but no. Um,
Avengers Endgame is gonna change the whole thing. That we're gonna restart with all the new ones. So you know how that go.
hey, it's a big deal, man. This Marvel thing really changing the game.
It's not, but okay.
It is. What you mean? It's changing the way movies are made and how people perceive movies. It's a whole different world now.
Okay. Is it for the better though? No.
I mean that's a matter of opinion. You know, people who love Marvel, like watching Captain Marvel today, I was like, this is like fine. You know what I mean? Like this is inoffensive. It's entertaining. It's not bad. Some really nice moments.
My palette for art is bigger than it.
No, no, I agree, but I'm just saying, like, on the grand scheme of things, yeah, it kind of sucks that some people can't make movies anymore. But at the same time, it's like it don't matter to me. I'm gonna get my
Well,
stuff. I'm gonna get my
well,
stuff off. So that's what matters.
Jive Turkey, he won't be able to make a music. So see, the old guy got to move out the way,
I mean, the people who making Marvel movies now are the young folks, new filmmakers.
and they suck too.
I mean, I just hope that they use this as a catapult to do bigger and better things. I think a lot of them use it as a means to just stay in there and just keep doing the same thing over and over, and that's what bums me out about it. Like,
You think? Boy, I got two questions.
yeah,
You think that the Russo brothers actually have talent?
I mean, who am I to say? They've done a lot of good television work,
Oh,
and
you
like,
say a lot of stuff that nobody asks.
I mean, the movies they've made are fine. You know, like I think Winter Soldier is very good. I think Captain Marvel is like not good, and not Captain Marvel. I think I'm sorry, that's the thing.
Uh,
I think Civil War is not good, and I think Infinity War is like okay. So I mean, they're good at doing Marvel movies. You know what I
okay,
mean?
so I got another question. Do you think Ryan Coogler will ever make a non-Marvel movie again?
I sure hope so.
I don't know. I ain't seen none.
I know he's doing Black Panther too, and I'm just
Yeah,
hoping. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a better movie because he has a better grasp on how to do those kinds of movies now. But like the
yeah.
least interesting name,
I heard that Vale shot at Black Panther. He said it's trash.
I do not like it. So
Yeah, I'm
I'm
glad.
not. I
Yeah,
would not say I'm a fan of it.
I'm glad you finally announced your turnover to the other race.
I've been told you I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think that's just to be different, but okay.
Nah, when I rewatch, usually movies that I don't like and other people really enjoy, like critically and stuff, I'm like, I watch again and they come around. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does, which is why I rewatched Arrival. Only saw half. I need to see the other half again. But
You didn't rewatch it if you saw half.
I didn't see only saw half because I had to leave. I would have watched the whole thing, but we had to go get breakfast, so and then I had to go. But what I saw, I liked a good bit, but it was still kind of clunky in the way I remember. But what was I saying? Oh, Black Panther. I watched it again, and I watched it again. I was like, Michael B. Jordan is very good. Better not remember him being in this movie, but he doesn't have nearly enough to do. And I remember a lot of stuff that bothered me the first time didn't. I guess because I was just used to it this time, and I was just like got over it. But this time watching it, I was just like, oh, this is like perfectly fine. It's it. I liked it about as much as I did the last time, which is like I didn't really care for it, and I don't care for it.
Right. Uh,
But I'm one person, so it doesn't really matter what I think. Like obviously, like critics, people like layman's, and like smart people like you or Willie or Ly, y'all like the movie a lot. So I
Mark.
mean, that says way more about you. That says way more about the movie than just my opinion of it. So I've just like decided to be like, I'm just wrong on that movie. So I'm cool with that.
A veiled shot when I hear one.
I said smart people.
I know what you're trying to say. You saying
I'm
nigga.
saying like everybody I respect and like and whose opinions I respect enjoy that movie a lot. So obviously I'm the one that's in the wrong here, or I have like a weird hang up about it.
You just don't have good taste, but I think we talked about that ad nauseum, so I don't want to go back to that.
Because like there's people I don't agree with at all who agree with me on Black Panther, and that made me think about it. I'm like, ugh, am I wrong about Black Panther? I was like Amy Nicholson is a critic I like to hear talk, but like 9 times out of 10, I think her opinions are just crap on things. And she was like, I really do not like Black Panther, and I was like, oof, maybe I need to watch this again and make sure I'm not wrong. Because if she
Well,
don't like
she
it, then she white. And I was like, if she don't like it and I don't like it, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I think she just be dead wrong because she hated she really did not like Black Klansman, and I'm like, yo, you are so wrong on that one. But
it
whatever.
sounds like she just don't like black movies.
No, she loves Sorry to Bother You, and she loves Chirac, but she
Wait,
hates
wait,
Klansman. Yeah, she really did not like that movie.
no. My point still stands. She don't like black movies.
She likes Chirac and Sorry to Bother You.
My point still stands.
Chirac is a
She
Spike
don't.
Lee movie. It's very a black movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about you.
It was the sorry to bother you one because I don't consider that a black movie, but okay.
That's without a doubt a black movie.
It's not a black movie. Yeah, of course you said it.
What you mad about, bro? This
I
man,
like
hot,
you.
this man hot over here. This man,
Wait, I got a question.
yeah, what's up?
How do you know when a wisdom tooth is crying or breached?
I mean, when it's out, when you feel the tooth poke coming through the gums, or you feel the gums receding, and you feel a tooth underneath.
I think I feel a tooth underneath.
Yeah, my wisdom teeth are all out or exposed, and I'm cool.
What? You just went through that pain? You didn't get them taken out?
I mean, my top two just came in fine, and they're in. I mean, they're like crooked, but they don't hurt. My bottom, my bottom two are like exposed, but they haven't come out, and there's like pain every like now and then. Like every other month, I might get like a day when it's hurting, but that's
You
about
just
it.
you just living with pain in your mouth?
No, it's like I go like 3 months without it, and then one day my jaw a little bit swollen on that side, and I'm like, ah, that hurts, and I have like a headache, and then it's gone, and I go
I
to
can live.
but I went to my dentist, and then he was like, look, man, if you keep it clean and it's like not causing like pain daily, there's no reason to take it out.
Yeah, I just don't want it to get infected. That's my.
Well, you just gotta brush it, and you gotta make sure it stays clean. It'll only get infected if there's a cavity in it. If there's a cavity, then they gotta take it out.
It just do this sometimes. Um, um,
I'm looking at you because of all the sugar you eat.
yeah, I eat a lot of sugar, so that might not help.
You
But
shouldn't eat sugar just for your health in general.
yeah, it's fine.
I'll give you some I got a prescription on some toothpaste that's real cheap. I'll give you some of that. It's like fluoride toothpaste. It like strengthens your stuff. My dentist gave it to me. She was like, even if you have like tiny cavities, if you brush with this, those cavities will just stay locked in and you will never have to get them filled. That's what she's telling me.
Ah, and also, it's like I would go get it taken out the wisdom tooth, but it's like I don't know if I have insurance, so it's like
I mean, and it's really uncomfortable getting a tooth pulled.
I don't care about that though. It's uncomfortable having mouth pain.
I mean, it's not that expensive. I mean, how much was it to get my tooth pulled? I don't remember. But I don't think I had insurance then either. I don't know. It was like maybe like 100 something, maybe. I don't think it was that much. It was over 100, but it wasn't that bad. The worst part is like the healing and like when it comes out, it's just a weird feeling. But has yours come out? Your wisdom tooth?
No, I'm literally just now feeling pain over the last few days, and I think a tooth is back there, a
Is
small
is
one.
it is it coming in?
I think it's coming in.
It hasn't come in yet.
No,
Okay, so
and
if that's the case, then you'll probably have to get that taken out then. If it's
I'm not
serious
sure.
enough.
I'm also not sure if it's a wisdom tooth because
I
I
mean,
don't really know.
I
I
mean
don't know what's going on with
that's
it.
probably it. Most people have wisdom teeth.
But I'm saying it could just be like I chew on bottle tops a lot, and sometimes poke my gums. So it could just be.
You should not do that either.
I'm not here to ask you what I shouldn't do. I'm just here to. I'm just talking.
I mean, it
So
just sounds like bad all around.
I didn't ask that either. So I don't.
Yeah, you should probably get your teeth cleaned at some point though,
Why people keep saying that?
because it's important. Because you might have cavities you don't know about, tiny ones that like could spread and like really balloon out, and then you have to get more teeth pulled, like noticeable ones.
Yeah, but
A
you
checkup
need
is not that expensive either,
insurance for these things, brother.
but that's not even that expensive.
All right.
I'm sure Mama would pay to get your teeth clean.
I don't like asking her for things.
No, I feel you on that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sure she would be like, yeah, get your teeth clean. Because I mean, if you go in now, they're probably going to be like, yeah, you got a couple cavities, and that's where the money comes in. That's expensive getting those cavities filled.
First of all, don't assume I got anything.
I'm not saying you do, but I'm just saying like, but it's always like tiny ones. Even if you take care of your teeth really well, it's like a tiny one there that could get big someday. They need to fill. You know,
Yeah, I need to see if I'm still on insurance. I think.
I don't think you are.
Well, I think that'll do it then. I don't know what to say.
Are you worried about it or something?
I'm worried about the wisdom tooth, but not really the other stuff. But
Well, I mean, if it's not hurting consistently, don't really worry about it. I guess it'll come out when it comes out.
I don't know if I want to leave it to that. But
I mean, it's gonna come out like a normal tooth would, you know.
yeah,
And you'll just have like extra row of teeth in the very very back, and that'll be uncomfortable at first to bite with and like live with, but after you get down having extra teeth, you'll be fine.
yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's it on me.
You brought it up, so
I think that's all my ailments.
cool. Why are you eating so much sugar?
I like candy.
You shouldn't eat sugar though.
I also eat broccoli, so it just kind of levels
Yeah, but it just negates all the broccoli.
it up. Yeah, I mean, you only live once, right?
Everybody a Nipsey fan now. I see how it is. Y'all all fake.
Wow,
I'm just
I
saying.
hated that one. I'd be like, what a weird time to tell people not to be a fan. Wouldn't you want everybody to be
What do you mean? Like in general, or like now that he's gone?
like if a like when Mac passed and everybody was like, "Yeah, I'm on Mac," and people like, "I've been here," so
Yeah, that's lame.
I don't get like he's gone and I want to pay respect, but I can't because you were a fan first. That's stupid. Get fuck my face.
I do hate the folks that are like he died and they're like, man, swimming really that album though, and I'm like, you weren't listening, bro. Like chill out.
I hate the people who was like swimming on the woman because Mac died. It's like, yeah, or it was nominated because Mac died. Like, yeah,
It's
I
also
don't.
it's also pretty great as well.
But yeah, and it ain't like a Lil Pump album. I'm not wishing anything on anybody like that. I'm just saying, like, it ain't like a Lil Pump album got a posthumous award at the fucking Grammys. If he like, God forbid, passed away, and then I would get it and be like, well, he only got it because, well, yes, he did only get it because he passed. But like, Mac's album was great, first of all, and also it's Mac Miller. So if he did die, which he did, rest in peace, then yeah, I kind of understand. I
Mm,
don't know, it just
I feel you.
it depends on the artist. I feel like. And their body of work up to that point, and that album that had just came out.
Yo, do you still like
Cause
Jamil Hill?
yeah, but well, my last one because that if the album was trash, it wouldn't have got nominated. Even if he does, it
No,
just wouldn't have got nominated.
I think he was popular enough. He would get nominated regardless.
No, no, no. I'm saying if it was bad, it wouldn't have got nominated if he died. I don't. I
No,
don't
no, I
it,
think it would have.
I think it had to be at least good to great first, and then he passed. And then I think that might have pushed it over the edge. But I don't think it would have been there if he was just some regular guy who passed. And like, it's still Mac. Like, it was still a great album first. Like, you know.
Hmm.
But yes, I love Jamel Hill. I think she's excellent,
Get her out of here.
and I'm gonna let you tell me otherwise.
Hey, the Master's back on Netflix.
You know who don't care?
Aren't you trying to get in the film, bro? You like Paul Thomas Anderson, don't you?
Um, yes.
So watch the Master.
Just name
It's like my second favorite film by him. Well, third favorite now.
name some things he's made.
There Will Be Blood, which I'm sure you've heard of.
I do. I need to see that also.
Boogie Nights, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Yes.
Punch Drunk Love, which I've shown you and Lindsay.
Yes.
The Master, of course.
I
Inherent.
don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what the master is. So.
It's amazing. Inherent Vice, which is great, and Phantom Thread, which is a perfect film.
I
And
want to actually do want to see that.
see what?
Phantom Thread.
All right, I'll drop off the DVD.
You don't have to.
I will. Don't worry.
I can watch it somewhere else.
No, I mean I got you. It's on HBO now. You got the app, right?
Help.
It's on there. Um, uh, Magnolia. Do you know about that?
No, I have no idea.
That's really good too. It's long though. It's probably his longest. It's like three. It's over 3 hours, I think. And his first movie, Hard Eight, which is his shortest. No, no, no. It's like his second shortest. Punch Drunk Love is his shortest. But Hard Eight is the movie he's not. That's his least favorite of his movies, but I think it's really good. I think it's actually one of my favorites of his movies. But yeah,
Who's better, him or Wes Anderson?
no, Paul Thomas Anderson.
I knew you'd say that.
But Wes Anderson has Moonrise Kingdom, which is also one of my favorite movies ever. So
And Budapest.
yeah, that's Willie's. I'm not on that. It's good. Moonrise is better, way better. Moonrise is like legitimately a perfect movie. I have that on DVD too, so I'll drop that off.
You don't have again.
What all I got that you want to see? Let's see. I got the Before trilogy. I know you want to see that.
I got the what?
The Before trilogy, Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight.
When I tell you, I literally don't want to see that more than anything else. I
You know
can't.
what that is though?
I've heard you talk about it numerous times.
They are literally it's the best trilogy ever. Nate. They're three perfect movies. I've seen them all at least 3 times. Yeah, and I've seen the second one, Before Sunset, which is my favorite. I think that's like probably the it's probably like top 10 my favorite movie of all time. Before Sunset, I've seen at least like 5, 6 times. It's perfect and it's short. They're all like an hour and a half, and that's why I love them too. They're like meals, like tiny little snacks. Just pop them in. They're so perfect. Um, I got that. What else I got?
You pop in TV dinners like Altoids.
I get that's going on a shirt. I'll make some placeholder merch.
Oh man, we do. But like all my little roasts.
I don't know about that, but I'm gonna make y'all some shirts. That's why I got y'all size. You know,
Oh, well, I don't think those other two need any. But Jack,
I'm like one shirt, not multiple, one each.
what's your size? We'll take 2 larges and 2 XLs. Well, no, okay, we'll just take 2 XLs.
This man a dog, boy.
You gotta get 1 2 shit.
Man, volunteering up for my. I'm just playing. Yeah.
But you really don't need one. I can't stress that enough.
Why not?
Because I don't think they deserve one. First of all,
You got to get the brand name out there.
they ain't doing shit to put the brand name out there.
The logo you picked. I'm gonna put that on the shirt, and I'm gonna put something else on the back. I'll figure it out.
Did you like the one you picked? The one in the top left corner?
I mean, I don't care. They're all fine to me. I was partial to the red and white one with like the long lines. The big PH.
We can do both of them for different shirts though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that costs money, but like, I'm just
You
trying
got
to.
it, yo.
No, I don't got any money, yo. What else I got? I got Cloud Sales Maria and Personal Shopper, which are both made by Olivia Assayas, are both on Netflix, and those are two. Well, Cloud Sales Maria, I think, is a wonderful, very weird, surreal movie that I really love.
Classic
And
Marie.
Personal Shopper is a movie that took me a while to love. I've seen it, I think, twice. The first time I did not care for it that much, and the second time I like it a lot more. I need to watch it again. But either way, Clouds of Sils Maria you need to watch, and it's on Netflix, and it's wonderful. You probably won't like it. but I love it.
So then, why would you?
That's I usually don't recommend movies I don't think you'd like, but that's a movie I think you should see, even if I don't think you'd like. What else I
Right.
got? Let's see. Carnival of Souls, but I don't think you'd watch that.
I need to watch City of God also.
I do too.
You ain't seen that movie?
Every time it's like on Hulu or it's like on Netflix, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it, and then I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to watch it. You had those movies
Why?
where you like, I'm planning the day to watch it, and then I like sit down, I look at the little thumbnail on Netflix, and then I'm like, man, I don't want to sit here and read subtitles for 2.5 hours. And so I'm like,
It's because it's about people from another country.
I mean, I love that, but I just be like, that's a movie that's like hard for me to get into. I know I'm gonna love it, but I know, but like the thought of like watching it just makes me annoyed. I just don't want to watch it. Um, what else I got? I got I got the Three Colors trilogy, but I don't think you'd like those either. So probably not.
Mm.
I got Persona. I did not like that, and I need to rewatch it. So I probably wouldn't let you. You probably wouldn't like it. It's
You
very.
wouldn't like me.
I mean, not let you, but it's like it's very odd. Like the first time I tried to watch it, I was watching it with Mama and Carmen, and then the first like minute of the movie, it flashes a penis on screen, so I immediately took it out. Uh,
You was watching Oma and
no,
Carmen.
I wanted to watch it on the big screen because it's a Polish movie. No, it's Swedish from 1966, and I was like, and it's beautiful black and white. And it's old. It's like a classic, and I never seen it, so I was like, let me watch it on the big screen in the front. And I was put it in the her DVD player, and it came on. And the beginning has nothing to do with the movie. The beginning is just like a bunch of images with like kids painting them. It's a weird movie. And like the first image that they pop on the screen is only for like half a second. You barely notice it. But as soon as it popped on, it's like a big dick. And I was like, oh no, I cannot watch this with them.
I don't like the how you put emphasis on big.
I'm just saying, like, it just came out of nowhere because I was like, all right, so this is like an old 60s. Because, in the 60s, you would not think that kind of stuff would be in the movie. And in the rest of the movie, it's fine. Like, the rest of the movie, they talk about explicit stuff, but they don't show nothing. And then the first thing you see is a penis. So, and then I watched it again by myself, past that bit. And then the rest of it is a woman and another woman go to a retreat house. One of the women is mute and losing her mind, and the other woman is her nurse. And the whole movie is them having conversations in the house and trying to get her better. And then they kind of switch places, and they kind of like their personalities meld into one, and they kind of become one person, become each other. And it's very strange, and I did not understand it at all. So I need to rewatch it, and I did not like it. It's at
Question:
all. What's up?
What are your feelings about Sophia Coppola?
One of my favorites. She's amazing.
I don't like how you sung it, but all right.
She's great. What's wrong with Sophia?
I just asked the question, man.
Have you seen any of her flicks?
I see that I don't know, she wrote or directed The Beguiled
Yes, she did.
and Marie Antoinette. Weren't we just talking about that?
No, but yes, she did,
And Lost in Translation.
which is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking her up.
Lost in Translation and Somewhere are probably my favorites of hers. I think Somewhere is wonderful, but it's very boring and slow if you're not in the right mindset. First time I watched Somewhere, I did not like it that much, and then I watched it again like a couple years later, and I was like, oh no, I love this. So it just depends, I guess. Um, what else I got? I got I got A Simple Plan. Yeah, that's great. Got Game Night. That's great. Oh, you haven't seen Unsane, have you?
I don't know what that is, no.
You know what that is? The one about the chick in the mental hospital.
Insane?
Unsane. Unsane.
No,
Okay. Have Breathless. Do you know what that is?
no,
It's like an old 50s movie, French movie. No,
no.
you gotta get mad, bro. Chill out. Yeah. You seen American Honey? We watched it together, I think. Right?
Yes, yes. And Fury is great. Just giving Shy some love.
Uh, The Florida Project. Oh, you would love that. You would love that. I think. Have you seen that?
The Florida Project? No.
Yeah, The Florida Project.
Nah,
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop that off.
don't drop nothing off. What's wrong with you?
I'm telling you, bro, you're gonna love that, man. I watched that with Mama and Carmen too, and they really loved it. Or Carmen liked it a lot. Mm. And Phantom Thread, you said you're gonna watch at some point.
Yes, I am. It's on my list, and 'cause you know how I feel about Daniel Day. You
Yeah.
know how I feel about Daniel Day.
I don't know if you'll like that movie off top though.
You don't know what I like.
I mean, I just don't know. The first time I saw Phantom Thread, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. So I
We
saw
have
it,
different
and then I
tastes.
saw it again, and I was like, oh no, this is perfect.
Well, we have different tastes.
That's true, but like,
Because I think Reservoir Dogs is immaculate, and you don't.
no, I don't.
I don't think it's immaculate
I think
either.
I think it's good.
I
You
was
really
just
think you
okay.
really think it's
But
immaculate, or did
no, but I enjoy it way more than you do. So,
that's true? I think it kind of like it gets kind of repetitive near the end.
and I enjoy Hateful Eight way more than you do. I think that movie is great.
I think I need to rewatch it for sure.
Because I remember when you went to the theater to see it, you was like, it was boring.
I did not say that. I said it was too long.
Yes, which means boring. If you
No,
count the time, it's boring.
my problem with that movie is I love the ending. Like after Sam Jack gets shot by Jody in the basement.
Well,
What?
I said don't spoil it.
After Sam Jack gets shot, and
So
then
you,
to the end of the movie, I think is pretty great. I think everything up until like when the revelation starts coming out and people start getting poisoned and shit.
that's the
That's
best.
I know that's the best, and I love all that. But everything up until that, I was like, yo, bro, he need to like speed this up. Like
And
this
the whole
is
story about
way too much like talking about horses and shit.
his dialogue is impeccable.
It's fine. It's real. It's too much though. Like you could have he could have tightened that up. That movie is way too long.
But remember that story that Sam told? That story is great.
That's a great moment, and that's when it really turned and started becoming really good. And then you know stuff started happening for real. Before that, it was just a lot of fucking people waiting around and having lame conversations. What else? That was a something, and I just lost it. Oh, Jennifer Jason Leigh, she's amazing in it.
I don't. Has she been? What else has she been in?
Tons of stuff. Uh, Stuff you might have heard of, you thinking, or just like stuff in general.
I just ain't never heard of her before or after that movie.
She's in that movie Anomalisa, which I love, which I've told you
Of
about
course,
multiple times. And she's in Existence and Miami Blues and Fast Times at Ridgemont High and Georgia and Single White Female, which is really good. And just trying to think of movies I've seen her in. Seen her, oh, and
Jasmine.
Margot at the Wedding. What?
So Jazz gave you the nod of approval for that one.
Which one?
Which one was it?
Yeah,
Single white female.
yeah, that one. That movie's fire. You gotta see that, man.
Ah,
Jasmine, put that man on some Single White Female.
I'm trying.
no, you ain't. You ain't mentioned the movie ever before today.
Hey,
You just don't listen.
Y'all turn on the camera and get capped.
hey, hey, bro, you need to get up on your trash thrillers, bro. Like your
My
fatal attractions, your basic instincts, like them great. All those great.
the only trash thriller I want to see is Primal Fear with Richard Gere.
I haven't seen that.
I mean, either I heard about it. Said they had a great twist. So I'm
Did you
always
did
down
you
for a
did you
good
see
twist.
about the twist, or you just know it has a twist?
I mean, I watched the video on Woke Culture and they talked about it. So yes, I do
Do
know.
you know the twist?
Yes, I do know. That don't deter the movie for me though.
No, no, no. I feel you, but I'm just like that's funny that you saw the twist and like, well, I gotta see that.
I know that they were gonna say the twist. They just start saying it.
That's hilarious. Man.
I didn't go into it. No, I'm gonna find out what the twist is. No, I just didn't know.
You need to. Have you seen Showgirls before?
Y'all coming at me from all angles. Saying what?
Showgirls.
Some of it, sadly. I don't never need to see that movie.
Why not? It's really good.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not like great, but it's really entertaining. It's a good watch.
It it's the underbelly of the society of film.
You think so?
It's like just raunchy. It's just nasty.
It's not nasty. You ain't even seen it.
I seen all the dirty stuff because everybody talk about that movie.
Yeah, because they hadn't seen it. They have bad taste.
They just be like, all they do is say, Elizabeth Berkley. I mean, Elizabeth, what's her name?
It's Berkeley. You're right.
Yeah, she just nasty.
I don't.
And
You're like showgirls. What you think of it? It's just nasty, man.
she just nasty.
That's funny, man.
I got a question though.
Yeah, what up?
Most anticipated movies of the year running.
Ad Astra, number one.
Ooh,
Lucy in the Sky, number two. Uh, of course, Midsummer, number three. Uh,
Lion King.
Pika Pika, Detective Pikachu, probably number five. Number four, Dark Phoenix, and number
He said, Pika
and
Pika.
my six man gonna be New Mutants if that ever comes out.
I don't ever bring up basketball references. You don't like the sport. Okay.
What you mean, me or somebody else?
You said six man, man.
Hey, this is my six man. You still ain't seen High Flying Bird, and that's a movie about basketball management.
Yeah, but it's made by black people. No, just, I'll just play.
You need to see High Flying Bird. That's a fantastic film.
It's
What'd you say?
it's on the list.
Yeah, okay. Uh,
The list a mile long, but we get to it over
you
here.
got the
And
Triple Frontier, but you couldn't get to High Flying Bird. I see.
so I can get to what?
Triple Frontier, but not High Flying Bird.
You damn right.
You
But
got to Hold the Dark, didn't you?
yes, and I thought that was really really good.
Yeah, same. Um, have you rewatched Green Room yet?
Nah, look, can I say something about movie trailers? Trailers really can be deceiving.
How so?
Cause like maybe my thoughts for Hold the Dark was, and like I said, I really enjoyed. I thought it was really good, but like yo, it wasn't the trailer. It's the same thing with Rogue One because you sleep, but it wasn't because. But yeah, like you know that Rogue One trailer I love.
Yeah,
Uh, and the movie ain't as good, but then if you watch the trash, I don't know what a trash trailer is though. So I don't think I've ever seen a trash trailer.
I mean that was about it. I thought Rogue One was about in line with what we got. You know,
Nah, cause that trailer was crazy.
I mean Rogue One was a good movie. It's not a bad movie.
Hey, yeah, Rogue One was probably about right where it should have been, but Hold the Dark was maybe just a little bit under the trailer. I feel like,
Oh, you like the trailer more? I get you because Hold the Dark is a weird movie.
but I don't mind it.
Yeah, but like when I thought of Hold the Dark, I thought Hold the Dark was gonna be a dude like hunting after like either wolves or like some guy in a mask or something, and that's not what that movie is at all.
I could have told from the trailer it wasn't gonna be there.
What you thought the movie was? I slick thought the movie was gonna be about him chasing after like some kind of weird cult, wolf cult people.
I thought it was gonna be a little different and a little artistically, depth and maybe a little weird. And it was all that.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I just thought it would be a little. I don't know. Maybe in terms of the story, I just thought it would be a little bit better.
Hmm.
That sounds like the people who call us.
Yeah, I don't listen to those people though.
I don't even want. Man, I love that movie. I think about that movie so much still, and I've seen it twice, and I want to see it again, but I ain't gonna spend money on it again. But man, Ian, the replay value of that movie is so high.
Yeah,
It's just, it's great.
I just think it's a pretty fantastic movie.
I'm glad you do. I didn't. I really thought you was gonna be with them on that one
No, I don't agree with those people at all.
because y'all line up. So I was like, yeah, I know how he feel.
No, man, I get hot with some of those folks.
I get hot.
I be getting hot these days. These bad opinions out here. These bad takes.
You used to be the main one telling me don't get mad at why you mad at people's opinion. Now you doing it.
I'm not like mad at it, but I'm just like
No, you be going on Twitter rants.
I don't be Twitter in. It's just like I get on there and I'm like, and they like blah blah blah, and I'm like, but you like Blade Runner 2049 though? Like that's a silly movie, even though I like it. You know what I mean?
Wait, what?
Like it's weird the way people talk about stuff, and I'm just like, Yeah, but you like Avengers. You like Captain America: Civil War, which is just
But
which is like a sloppy movie.
but Ian, they could say you like Annie Hall, which is made by a pedophile.
I mean, they can say plenty of stuff. They could because a lot of people I'd go to bad. I see a lot of bad takes of like the Matrix is great, but the sequels are shit. And I'm like, y'all trash. Them sequels are like masterpieces. And they'll look at me like you crazy. And I'm like, y'all just too stupid. And I'm cool with saying that. I believe that
See why they gotta be stupid?
because they are stupid. You hear the way people talk about it, you know they're stupid. You know,
No,
I do think the way people talk about things, you can tell a lot about who they are and what they think. Like Amy Nicholson, her point with Black Klansman, she was like, it's just poorly directed. Like Spike Lee just put a camera everywhere and just cuts randomly in between moments of like dialogue and stuff. And I rewatched the movie, like, what the fuck is she talking about? I was like, this is not this movie at all.
yo, you know how they put like clips up on YouTube of movies, and we just like interestingly enough, we just watched some clips from that movie, and some of the shots are pretty amazing. And I don't think I really noticed that the first one. I think it's really why you got to watch movies more than once. A lot of times,
I think that's why you got to watch Spike Lee movies, period, and people don't.
it's some beautiful shots. Like it was the one where he finally when he first called the KKK, but they didn't answer, and he left his number and name, and
Mm-hmm.
they called back. Spike just put like a shot of the phone ringing, and I was like, I don't know why that's so beautiful.
So
It
draw
it
your
was just
attention.
small like that, and then the dialogue in the movie. Yeah, I don't know what she's talking about, but I believe people who say stuff like that don't like black people.
Oh, I ain't gonna say that. She loves she loves plenty of black stuff.
We don't give them the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know, man. It's just like I heard that and I was like, is she right? And then I watched some clips and I was just like, I guess here I can see that. And then I watch other stuff. I'm like, they didn't watch the same movie I watched, and I can't co-sign this at all. It's like completely
Yeah.
disagree. And I was just like, oh, she just like that's a bad take on this movie, and that's bad. I just that's what it is.
What if she be like, well, Ian, you like the social network, so I think you have bad taste.
I didn't say she got bad taste. I said that's a bad take on the movie. I think it's possible to have it's possible
No, I'm
for
saying
you to
what?
have bad takes. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying what if she said that to you though?
If she said it to me, I'd be like, okay, like what? Like, I would be mad at it. I'd be like, all right, cool. I can't help you. You can't help me. So
I can't help you.
she can't help me
That's,
either. Same difference. Some people. I mean,
yeah.
she hates Phantom Thread, and I'm like, wow, what a terrible opinion. But that's her opinion. I mean, she genuinely
And
hates
what if
that
she
movie.
and what if she was like, well, you think PTA is better than Wes Anderson? I think that's a terrible opinion.
And I'd be like, fine. I'm glad you feel that way.
Fine.
I mean, I can't do nothing to help people, bro. You know, I hear so many bad takes all the time, and I just gotta be like, yeah, whatever. You know,
You, I don't get you, man.
what you mean?
You be the main one. Like, bro, we had so many arguments back in the day about me saying stuff like people are bad for you. Be like, nah, man, everybody got their opinion. And now you've come so far away from that line of thinking. No, I just can't. I just have the same thought of this dick.
No, I don't. No, here's my thing. I don't care. Like, I don't think. Like for instance, I don't think Summer Walker is that makes that great of music. But you
Ooh,
do, and that's your opinion. I don't really care what you feel or and you don't care how I feel, so it doesn't really matter to me. In the same way of like, if someone's like, oh, the social network. No, no, I hear a lot from the stuff I watch. I'm like, hey, Spider Man and Spider Man 2 and Spider Man 3 were good for their time, but they kind of dated now, and I'm just like, I mean. No, but like okay, and then I and
no,
then I go on with my day.
you can't tell somebody no.
I mean, I can though. That's about right.
So do it. I'm the bad guy. God do that all the time. Everybody tell me, "Nay, you wrong."
No, because I don't argue with you. I'm like, I'm cool. Do you feel that way? Because I can.
But you argue.
Huh? Do you say I do argue?
You argue more now than you ever in your life on
I
Twitter.
don't argue with people on Twitter.
Okay.
Who do I argue with on Twitter?
No, no, no. You'll do this thing where you think just because you talking nice to them, you ain't arguing with them. Like, no, you still argue.
Who are you talking about? I have not
It's
argued with anyone.
every time I get on Twitter now, you talking to somebody about a movie or something. They said, but like you ain't cussing at them or nothing, but you still
What do you
like
mean? I don't
disagreeing.
know who you're talking about. I don't tweet people and
Nigga,
talk about stuff.
I don't know these people you be talking to.
Nate, I don't be talk. Nate, stop it. What are we doing?
Yes, you do.
I'll tweet someone and say something like Priscilla Page. She's a writer and a critic that I really like, and I follow her and she tweets at, and I tweet at her and she'll tweet at me and we'll talk sometimes like on Twitter. So every once in a while she'll say something like, I like this movie, blah blah blah, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I really like that movie too. Have you checked out these two that are similar? And she'll be like, I've seen one of those. I wrote about it one time, and then I'll be like, cool. Where can I find it? And then she'll share the piece. And that's like the extent of the conversation, right? It's not like I'm arguing with her about her opinion because she just blocked me. She does that all the time. And most people who do that kind of stuff would just block me if I argued with them. So I don't argue with people. There's really no
That's
point.
crazy. You ain't blocked me yet,
Who?
Letty.
I mean, she might have. She might have just muted you, honestly. So she doesn't see your responses.
Well, that's no fun.
Well, that's what people do, and like they keep on tweeting at them, and they just can't see it. So it's not reaching them anyway.
Well, I don't tweet at her really. So.
Well, there you go. So why would she block you?
I'm saying I'm surprised she because do say crazy stuff though.
Mm.
But anyway, uh, I think that Joker movie is gonna be great. Also,
Yeah, I do think. I think it's gonna be really good.
who di-
Huh?
who's directing that movie?
Todd Phillips.
Oh, well, I don't know anymore.
Do you know who that is?
I've heard his name before.
He did the Hangover movies.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I don't know anymore.
I hear it's gonna be good though. He did War
Nah,
Dogs. You like War Dogs?
somebody else should have been directing that. I feel like
Scorsese was producing, but he's not directing.
that's not enough. But okay.
Scorsese out here making money moves, doing his thing.
You know what? I don't know. I just would have loved to see somebody different in that kind of movie, making that kind of movie.
But I think that's maybe the cool thing about it. It's gonna be interesting because you weren't expecting that choice. You know,
Like, could you imagine like Steve McQueen or Barry Jenkins or somebody making a movie like that?
I wouldn't want them to make those kind of movies.
I just think that'd be very different, and I think that they bring something to that that's very unique.
I think
But
I think Barry
you know,
Jenkins is doing like a very specific there's so much romance in his movies that he's made that like he's doing a very like black people in a melodrama type deal, and I love what he's doing. So I would never want to see him make an action movie. And then Steve McQueen, he made Widows, which is his version of what a Joker movie would be, and it was amazing. So I don't need him to make a Joker movie. Just make another Widows. I'd be cool with that.
oh, just a sidebar.
Sure.
I was watching a video and they were talking about Spider Man the series, and why Spider Man 2 is still the best comic book movie, or quotation comic book movie, still today. And they were talking about how like it's kind of ahead of its time, in that you know they weren't making comic book movies like that when it came out. And even though the first one tried to do a little bit of what that one did, and the third one kind of tried to also, but it didn't kind of connect. And then after that, they didn't really do that up until like Christopher Nolan series, and after that it kind of one really. You got something like Thor Ragnarok and
Yeah, like director driven. You mean?
yeah. And he was saying like it was the only movie that made the protagonist kind of like have to make a choice and or almost lose some in his attempt. I guess giving him real grounded character development, and the other ones just like they'll try to do it or kind of say they're doing it, but it's almost faux. It's not real. And Peter in that movie he really had to make a choice. Like, if I'm gonna have this life, I'm gonna lose a lot, or I don't even want to do it. It really like tested him as a person, and he just kind of go into detail about that, and that's why it kind of stands alone.
Mm-hmm.
And about how you talk about the second one, and I was like, well, maybe so. I still like the third one more. So
I mean, I talk about all three. I think that kind of analysis is like I agree with the sentiment, but I think that's kind of a misunderstanding of what those movies are. I think that first one is like a living, breathing comic book, and that movie is not meant to be like a deep investigation of ideas and feelings of Peter Parker and the
Well,
surrounding
he
characters.
ain't wrong with it being that though.
No, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like the first movie is specifically about producing and like exuding the aspects of what make comic books important or at least entertaining and like pop pop icons in themselves. And that movie is a great like myth creating. I think Spider-Man One in its own on its own is amazing in completely different ways than what Spider-Man Two is. And Spider-Man Two is amazing because of how it like deep dives into like what that person feels and what those ideas come from. And I think Spider-Man Three is very different as well. Spider-Man Three is like it's a very odd movie. It's weirdly paced and structured and put together. And I think the ending is one of the boldest endings I've ever seen in a movie of that size ever. I mean, I think the ending of Spider-Man Three is one of my favorite endings of any movie I've ever seen. I think it's a
I just hate. I hate that it wasn't done, but I love that it ended that way. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's like, then you knew it was gonna be more, but then how it ended is like, well, if it wasn't more, then
I think the ending is perfect. I mean, of course, I want more because I'm selfish, but that's one of like that ending is so radical for a comic book movie. It's crazy. When every time I think about that movie or like talk about that movie, I'm like, have y'all seen that movie? Like, have y'all thought about the ending? Like, think about how that movie ended, bro, compared to the first two or any other movie after. That's an amazing ending and a really bold one that like they let him get away with that. Anyway,
oh, that's what he was saying. He said that the second one kind of embodied the very essence of what Spider-Man was from the comics. Not saying that what you were saying about the first one being a comic book movie, but the second one, like the story and the character of Peter,
yeah,
that's kind of exactly what the essence was that Stan was trying to get across throughout his entirety of writing Spider-Man in the books. That was what it was. It was that struggle of like, which world do you want to be in? All that kind of good stuff.
yeah, I agree. I don't think that's like the major worth of it, but I agree to a large extent. I mean, I mean,
All right, man.
I mean, a lot of my problem about how people talk about movies today, like the way people talk about like the new Spider-Man movies, and about like how the superficial aspects of it is what they feel like epitomizes why it's the best Peter Parker Spider-Man, is why I don't really vibe with that conversation. Because here's the thing, I love Tom Holland, and like look, here's the thing, if Tom Holland was in Spider-Man 2, that would probably be my favorite movie ever. I think he's perfect as doing what he does. I think Tobey Maguire is like really good. I think Tom Holland's better, but I think Tobey Maguire's in a way better movie. So that's kind of my thing. But
You know that Leo and
Jake Gyllen,
no, you know that Leo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese got what's that nigga name? Daniel Day Lewis to go out to dinner one day after filming a day of Gangs of New York,
mhm.
and he didn't want to go, and they made him, and they met up with Leo's good friend Tobey Maguire, and Toby told him when he has to meet. I mean, when you have a talent like he does, you can't stop acting. Like you have to keep doing it because of how great you are. Like you owe it. I just thought that was an interesting story I found out a few days ago.
Did you know that Tobey Maguire, Leo DiCaprio, and a lot of their Hollywood friends are in a group called the Pussy Posse?
I didn't know Leo and Toby were close. They said close. I was like close.
No, no,
Like
they're best friends, like brothers.
I like when that happened.
If you go back and look, there's a whole article written about them two together and the friends they had in the group called the Pussy Posse and how many females they used to run through back in the 90s.
Wow.
Like it was crazy, bro. Like
Who else was in it?
uh who was famous?
Yes.
Uh Jay Stevenson, who you probably don't know, he was on Mad Men. Lucas Haas, who was in a lot of movies, but maybe not any you've seen. I mean, Amber Benson, who was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she was like the bully girl. No, no, no. Amber Benson wasn't in it. She was cool with them, but she wasn't in it. It was Sarah
I'm
Gilbert.
like, he in the Pussy Posse?
Yeah, Sarah Gilbert. She's a lesbian, and she's on Big Bang Theory, and she was on Roseanne, and she's on the Talk now, that talk show. But she was in it in the day. It was a lot of people. It was like 20 people, and they're all like actors and stuff. There's some other really famous ones in it, and I'm forgetting. But yeah, they had like there's a whole New York Times article written about like the women they had, the influence they had, the way everybody knew who they were, and how famous they were because of the roles they were getting. Because in the '90s, Tobey Maguire and Leo were the biggest young stars in Hollywood. Tobey Maguire had a lot of movies in the '90s. Mm. And
Uh,
Toby was a bad gambler too. He got in a lot of illegal stuff.
why ain't in more stuff these days?
He makes so much money playing poker, and he made so much money playing Spider Man. He just uses his money from Spider Man to play poker, and he wins because he's so good at it. He doesn't want to do movies anymore.
Get off his nuts. No, this one.
Yeah, that's messed up. Did you I don't know if you know this, but it's on YouTube. I don't know if you'll ever want to watch it, and I haven't seen it yet either. It's a movie that the Pussy Posse made in 1997 that they didn't want to put out because it was so damning of their of who they were. So they got it stripped away, and somebody got the file and put it on YouTube, so you can watch it. It's called Don's Plum. It's basically like an hour and a half, and it's Tobey Maguire, Leo DiCaprio in 1997, and like a bunch of their friends hanging out at like a diner and a club, talking about fucking girls, doing drugs, and just hanging out. And it's really I've seen part of it. It's really odd because Leo and Toby are like brothers in that, and Leo was like that dude back then. He was really just like playing everybody. It's interesting, but I don't know.
Thoughts? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Paul Newman and Robert Redford. What are your thoughts?
I haven't seen Butch
Let
Cassidy
me get the
because
back. I'm gonna give you the back first of why I brought that up.
uh,
Because I was watching Cinefix's best movies through the decade. The hell wrong with best movies through the decade? And when they got to the 60s or 50s, I'm not sure which one. That was one of them. And then I saw Paul Newman, Robert Redford. I don't know why that made me think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with, hey man, with Pitt
are you
and
talking to me? What I do?
I'm talking to both of y'all with
I didn't
Pitt
do
and
nothing.
she, I don't know, she buzzing the gut over here. I don't know why. With Pitt and Leo. And, all right, I gave you the background.
What about it
It,
though?
it made me think about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know, but have you seen that movie?
Mama said it's bad, so I never saw it.
Oh yeah, yeah. We do take an opinion on the westerns though.
I do, yeah. If she don't like it, I'm not gonna watch it.
I don't know though. I don't want to say that though. Like,
If she don't like the like westerns, nah, I take her opinion off top. Not newer ones, but like older ones, yeah. If she says it's not good, I'm not gonna watch it.
but for Paul Newman and Robert, I might though.
But have you seen any Paul Newman movie or Robert Redford movie?
No,
So you don't even know what if they're good or not.
I've heard of a movie he was in. It was on that list. It was a real old movie. Damn, I can't think of the name. It was
Which one,
like
Paul or Robert?
it was Paul.
Was it The Hustler?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's okay.
So you're not a fan of them?
No, I'm a fan of Paul Newman. He's dope. And I'm a
He's
fan of
dub.
Robert Redford. Yeah,
He's dub.
dope. DOPE.
I'm finna start saying dub. That's cool.
Paul Newman. The first time I ever saw him, he's in this. There's a sequel to the movie The Hustler that Martin Scorsese made in the '80s, and I love that movie. He's great in it.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Paul Newman's great.
You think Leo and Pitt gonna be the new ones?
I think uh, from this movie, no, I don't think so. Paul Newman and Robert Redford made like multiple movies together, so
I think Leo and Pitt should do more movies together.
I think Pitt is more into producing now, and he doesn't really like to star in movies anymore.
So if Quentin got him to come out to do this, then you already know.
Well, I mean, there's like a couple dudes who could probably get not Fincher, to get Pitt to come out. It's probably like before he got divorced, it was Angie, 'cause she got him in her movie, and it was it's Fincher and Tarantino because they give him the best roles.
So that's
What
I said. So that has he ever been in a Scorsese movie?
has he? No, he's not.
Mm.
That's right. No, he doesn't.
He was 12 years a slave.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he's the. Have you seen that movie?
No, I'm probably gonna watch that this week though.
All right, so I won't tell you who he is. Um,
I mean, I watched the video on it, so
well, never mind then.
I
You
know who he is,
so you
but
know who he is.
it's not gonna deter me though.
Do you know who? Not do you know? How many Leo and Scorsese movies have you seen?
I'll fix that now. Seen The Departed.
Hmm.
I need to see The Aviator and Shutter Island.
Aviator is his best movie.
Somebody else said that. They said that's his best performance.
I don't think that's his best performance, but I think that's his best. That's Scorsese's best movie. I think.
I saw the end of Revolutionary Road, so I'd seen that one.
You need to see that whole movie. That's a perfect movie.
Oh, I saw the end with you.
That's my third favorite movie ever. Fourth favorite. So you need to watch it.
Uh,
It's on Netflix.
it's a long movie.
It's not that long.
It's like 240.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Hold on.
Nah,
Look it up.
for certain.
This man lying like an ass.
It felt right though.
No, it is not 2 hours.
I've also seen Wolf of Wall Street,
That's 3 hours.
but that's good.
I'm in
Though.
bullshit.
So was Revolutionary.
I ain't saying it ain't, but I'm saying like good in terms of like that's just a fun 3 hours.
Hey, shit.
I gotta focus on Revolutionary, and they're gonna be talking low. Why in all these prestige films they want to talk low?
Now you're gonna be riveted. Stop it, bro.
Everybody want to talk low in prestige movies. You can't yell.
They are yelling. You ain't seen the movie. They yell a lot.
I'm not talking about that one per se. I'm talking
They
about
yell.
you yelling.
I know. I'm hot.
But yeah. I've only seen like 2, I think.
No, you seen Shutter Island, haven't you?
No.
Oh.
I've seen some of it with you, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Thought you saw Shutter Island.
I had it on DVD. I should have.
Never mind then, nerd.
I didn't even call you nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all think I'm bad. It's really him.
When you gonna watch Halt and Catch?
I'm probably never going to watch Home Catch. Just like I'm never going to watch Breaking Bad. You can watch it.
Chill, bro. You really ain't gonna watch Breaking Bad?
I'm not about to keep
I don't.
watching.
You can watch what you want to watch. I ain't never stop you. But
I could see no.
but yeah, I feel like I've seen Breaking Bad. So
No, you haven't.
I don't feel like I need
What do
to
you mean
see
you
it.
feel like you've seen it? You have not. That's a fact.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't watch TV shows really right now.
You need to get back on Mad Men and stop playing around.
We're gonna get back on.
Yeah, it's 30.
It's boring.
It's not.
It is.
It's perfect.
I don't know.
Well, then get on Buffy then. You don't like that?
Boy, I don't watch enough of that with you back in the day.
You have not watched any Buffy. Stop
I
lying.
saw with them crazy
You ain't
people
watched no
came.
Buffy, bro. Chill out.
I saw the episode when them crazy people came in the house and they was smiling and had them teeth.
And that episode was fire. And you was like, I should watch this.
I saw the one where her mama just was laying there. I saw that musical one.
Yeah,
I saw the one when her and that vampire dude had sex and that house fell around them.
You saw the end of that episode where that happened. That's all you saw.
Ain't that enough?
There's 144 episodes to that show.
That's way too many.
Hey, that's why I say hit, baby.
I saw Angel every morning. We used to go walk Rover.
You ain't seen no Angel, bro.
Every morning we used to walk Rover. It was on. I saw it.
No, you didn't. You saw the opening credits and was like, oh, dang, that's Angel.
That was enough.
Like, bro, that's fine. You ain't got to watch TV. It's cool.
I'm in the movies, bruh.
You need to get on that glow, though.
Nigga, I put you on Glow.
Nate, shut up. That's not true at all.
Why you get upset if you know the truth?
That's not true.
It is the truth.
That's not true. You were hesitant. You were like, I don't watch no fucking Glow. And I was like, watch
And then,
it. You like wrestling? And you was like,
and
fuck
then
Glow.
and watch it. It's amazing.
Glow is wonderful.
I'll
Glow is
put
my
you on.
favorite show on TV right now.
Stop.
It is.
In a world with Atlanta, that shouldn't be able to be said.
Atlanta ain't touching Glow, bro.
Boy, shut your fucking mouth, nigga. You
Atlanta
stupid.
ain't touching Glow.
Boy, you
Season
girl
2. Rewatching
You know,
season 1 made me realize how much I love that show.
you know why you because it has white women as the lead.
There's plenty of black women in that show as well.
I said the lead.
As the lead? Who you mean?
As the leads is 2 white women, Betty Gilpin and Allison Brie.
Betty Gilpin is wonderful.
See? I told you.
I also love Mark Maron. He's great as well. And Badge.
White.
And Miss Welfare Queen.
What's her name in real life?
I don't know. She's a wrestler.
Nah,
she's a wrestler.
Yeah, better than that. What's her wrestler name? Because you watched when she was on there.
I don't remember that. I looked her up a couple times. I don't remember watching her when she wrestled.
Karma.
Who?
Karma. or King Kong, I think. No, I want King Kong. That's fucked up.
That's what
It,
that's what that is.
Wow.
it was
That man called her
something with
8 Man. 8 Man. Yeah, that's you.
Damn.
it was some Kong. Awesome Kong, that's what it was.
I'm gonna get disrespectful.
Cause she was like a big monkey, they said.
Paid man. Paid man. Yeah, that's me.
I'm baffled. I've been led astray.
Nah, I love the new ones, bro.
You talking about it'd be like, wow, I can't believe she gonna do this.
Yeah, yeah. Hell yeah. I can't believe that.
Girl,
I just got this tax return, bro. I'm finna be big paid. I'm finna be acting disrespectful out here. Oh man, pay man. Yeah, that's me. That thing is stupid as hell. Oh,
Ooh, shit.
God.
Guard, huh? You talking reckless over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who you be watching on Insta, Nate? Who you
Whoa,
watching
whoa.
these days?
My percentage keep going down, so I don't I don't be on that like that much.
Even
Bro,
the from
that man.
20 hours a day to 15. Wow.
Nate,
My,
you need a new phone, bro.
no, I'm not talking about the battery percentage, bitch. I'm talking about the percentage of stuff you own, screen time you on like social media and stuff.
Oh,
It's going down.
oh, that's good then.
It tells you, it monitors it for you.
Yeah, I know. That's good.
Yeah, so I don't really. But when I'm on, I watch Desi Banks still. Even though I kind of fell off of a lot of people. Like B Simone don't even really do stuff no more. uh,
That's racist.
no, I don't mean stuff as in like she's still busy. I'm talking about like the comedy videos. She'd be touring and shit.
Yeah, she was wilding out now. Ain't she?
No, buddy, she doing her own tour.
Oh, that's too bad.
But I still watch Desi when he do stuff with Cam B Harrison. I
Mm-hmm.
still watch.
Famous Lowe's.
Oh yeah, I love Famous Loves. I kind of like Filet. He kind of funny. I love B Dot still. I try to see Reggie Coos much. I go back to old Reggie Coos because that's still timeless.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I love Jess Hilarious, Just with the Mess, even though we all for right now. Not just fun.
Why she say something wild?
You ain't know about that whole thing she did on the plane?
Nope.
Really?
I don't keep up with Instagram folks like that, Nate.
But this was bigger than Instagram. This was like national. Oh, not national. It
No.
was. It wasn't national, but it was so
What did she
basically.
do, Nate?
No, I don't think it's important. No,
she,
but
she kept talking around it.
bitch, this a podcast. We supposed to hold it out so they be anticipating what's going to happen next.
They ain't supposed to be like, yo, this man stutter, he having a stroke. Just all right, go
Yeah,
ahead.
talking with you again, buddy.
Go ahead. Say
She
it
was on
again. 7 again.
the pass on that ass.
I'll get on that.
He said, "Nigga, say, I'm a
Say
doctor."
what?
He said, "Hey, roll again, nigga."
Hey, you better roll again. Uh,
Uh, she
go
was on
ahead.
a plane, and this Sikh got on the plane, and she was recording him and like pretending like she was scared or whatever, and just being funny,
Yeah.
even though it's racist.
Wait, she was recording who?
A Sikh,
Okay.
and she thought it was a Muslim or like whatever, and
A Muslim representing. I got you.
ba- basically, and then the plane got evacuated. And when they got back on, he wasn't on there. She was like, "See, y'all was calling me racist and stuff in the comments. Why he ain't back on here?" And then like she was getting all the backlash because it's basically profiling what she did.
Yeah.
And people like she got him thrown off the plane. She was like, "Look, I was scared. He looked suspect and all that kind of stuff. I ain't gonna apologize for that." Da, da, da. And then the backlash got worse, and then she ended up putting out a statement apologizing, and people trying to cancel her.
I mean, she's stupid as hell for keeping on going back and forth. Off top, you're supposed to just be quiet. That's ignorant. She deserved what she got.
But it was,
I don't like
it,
her already.
wow, it was profiling though, because first of all, she didn't know what he was. He wasn't Muslim. He was a Sikh. It's a
Either way, just don't apologize for it. Like, don't keep going back and forth with people. That's why you call people children, Nate, because they act like children.
well, I guess she was saying she has a right to feel scared if she wants to.
She has the right to do whatever she wants. That doesn't mean she need to. I mean, she's stupid because she went back on it anyway. So All that was worth nothing.
I mean, she's fine now. So
Yeah, she's still a child though.
cancel culture. Why are you? Why are you so upset?
I'm sick because she's so stupid. That made me mad.
Why is she stupid?
Why is she going back and forth with people she don't know?
Cause she said y'all ain't gonna tell me I'm a racist for being scared of
I
him.
didn't say nothing though. That was them.
She ain't talking about you.
I know, but why she doing it anyway?
Why won't he back on the plane when they boarded again? That's my question.
You see, Jordan ain't say nothing when folks was losing their minds after what he said. He was like, "Cool, I said it, and now I'm doing what I got to do."
Who?
Jordan Peele, he was like, I ain't letting whites in my movies," and he dipped. Didn't say nothing.
Well, Chris Rock told y'all a long time ago. Just don't acknowledge it when they saying some shit. He said that's how you beat like cancel culture and all this shit. Just don't say nothing, and they'll forget about it in a week.
Damn. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's true.
You uh,
Huh?
you felt that answer, huh?
No, I'm doing something, but nah. I mean, I don't agree with that. If you say something real foul, then yeah. But like, if you just being a little racist towards like, if you do
So
something like if you do something like that where you ain't hurting nobody and like just be quiet.
it
You
just
already you already look bad. So
wait. Racism ain't hurt nobody.
no, I'm saying like what she did was like, well, she's black, right?
Yeah, nigga.
So the point I'm making is people are probably a lot more forgiving of a black woman if she was a white lady, then definitely she got to say something. But as a black woman, you can just probably be quiet and people forget real fast.
Well, I think it got worse because she doubled down on it. So I guess
Yeah,
in
that's
your
what
case,
makes it
yes.
worse because she kept speaking.
If you just be quiet, it would have went away quicker. So,
Yes, that's why she's a child.
but I guess the whole thing is like, well, do you just want it to go away, or do you want to actually learn why you were wrong in the first place? Because she clearly don't know what a sheik is. I think she more than anything, she's just ignorant.
Yeah, 'cause she's a child.
I think she thought it was a turban or some shit and it wasn't. But you know,
We've already discussed this. She don't read.
you don't know what she.
Children can't read. They have to be taught how to read. Reading comprehension.
See, we're not gonna talk down our black queens, okay?
If they stupid, they stupid, and I can't do nothing about it.
When you gonna call the white one stupid? No,
There's
just
plenty of dumb white ones. Damn. Um,
you playing Angry Birds.
nah. I'm playing. What is this? Mask of the Tomb?
That's worse.
Is it?
A little bit.
Or do you know what the game is?
You should get this game called Bit Life.
Why are you playing games, bro?
I like to have fun. I'm playing a game right now.
Makes I like to have fun. Like, I'm a cool guy. I like the joke.
I like to do things.
Yeah, true. Um, yeah, man. I'm not a fan of that lady you told me about, so
What about her comedy?
I don't know her comedy.
You gotta look that
I bet
up.
if she making those kind of jokes, she's probably not funny to me.
Wait, her just with the mess stuff is hilarious.
Now that she's a fucking racist.
You like Woody Allen? You shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he definitely is a racist. Without a doubt. Um,
Why are you just admitting that you a hypocrite on on the shit? Our viewers
maybe
don't.
maybe I like Woody for the emotional honesty, not necessarily for the jokes. You know, I do think he is funny.
Okay, so you like both.
What you mean? Oh yeah, I do.
I'm done with you. Hey, hey, this another one. All right, y'all.
Yeah, I just don't like to watch kids do stuff that grown ups should be doing instead.
She's older than you.
Is she? She don't sound older. Damn. Anyway, anything else?
I think we covered it all.
Okay.
I want to do a director's like round robin tournament. Not a round robin. We can't do that shit with directors.
What does that mean?
A round robin tournament basically it's on a point system. It ain't like one and done or like best out of seven. It's like points. So
Hmm.
like whoever you beat, that's like and depending on their ranking, that's a
What do you
point.
mean best out of? Wait, what do you mean? What's the competition of?
I was going to take away that part like best out of.
Hmm.
I was gonna do it like a bracket of directors, and we're just gonna like pair up like random ones and see who do it better. Like see who has a better catalog, and then the end will be the best director ever.
I'm
Um,
gonna pick a lot of people that like you wouldn't that nobody gonna agree with though.
and that's fun. Oh shit, it's actually close to 10. I gotta go, but
All right.
I did close to 10. But yes, and I don't care if you pick people I don't know. I'll watch all their movies.
I'm gonna pick Joe. Big Joe. Big Joe.
No man. But yeah. Thank y'all so much for listening, Placeholder. We love y'all.
Okay.
Placeholder podcast. We
Wait,
filled it
before you go,
up.
Nate, before you go,
Yes.
check out the videos of ContraPoints.
Contra?
Contra, CONTRA points.
Contra points.
Yeah,
Why?
she makes great stuff. Really interesting stuff.
Gotcha.
I just want to get your take on it. What you think of it?
And you check out some Zakari.
Sure.
And
I love.
right.
Yeah, that's what my man.
Yeah. Anything else?
Nah, you got to go to Zaxby's.
I do. They finna close.
All right.
All right, Placeholder. We love y'all.
Peace.
Peace.